Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aussie Formula Racing Season 6, Round 7 from Suzuka in Japan. I'm your host, Gus Rules. We're just loading into our qualifying session now. We'll be able to give you a bit of an update in a moment as to the weather. We'll have a little bit of an overview of our tracks. It's a very popular track here at the league. Lots of action always ensues. It's a 5.8 kilometre circuit, 18 turns, 1 DRS zone on the pit straight. The speed trap just after 130R. Now about 18 turns. A bit of action last season, turn 3. Fever and Potsy coming together as they wound up the hill on the first lap. Quite a bit argy-bargy as they all jostle for position, but yeah, the Alfa Romeo just getting tagged by the Williams and getting spun around to the back of the field. Turn 4, slightly later in the race, Smitty and Potsy came together, same corner. The Mercedes just losing the rear slightly. Spinning around. Again later in the race, Fever all on his own this time, just took a little bit too much exit curb, around he went straight into the liquid moly wall and losing part of his front wing. Had a great battle between Potsy and Pacey. Went on for about half a lap this battle. We come on board just after the hairpin. They go side by side all the way around turn 12. We run into turn 13 at Spoon. The Williams with that inside line, squeezing the Renault out and taking the position. What was a pretty impressive drive from Potsy in that race. Come to turn 11 now, and Smitty upside down. You might wonder, how does a car end up upside down after the hairpin? It's a pretty slow part of the track, but yeah, he says he lost it fourth gear and it just spat him into the wall and upside down. Back in season 4 now, turn 16, Shrimp with a trademark dive bomb there on Nut into just before the final chicane, but he ended up losing out there with Mercedes of Lotus getting through as well. Smitty and Potsy came together another time. Coming into that turn 16 again. Smitty just losing the rear slightly and tagging the Williams, forcing him onto the grass. Apollo Pepsi says thank you very much and goes on through, as does Pacey and the Renault. Potsy with a lot of work to do to recover from there. But of course, who can forget how that finished at the end? We had Potsy, king of the late braking, side by side with Peter into the final corners, and managed to take the win on the final lap. A great drive from him, great recovery, and one of the closest finishes we've seen in AFR, just a couple of tenths between those top two positions. Jump across to our qualifying session, looks clear at the moment. Just wait for the stream to load. There we go. And I'm joined in the commentary box by Jacob Meister. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. We've got a cracker. Full wet in the race. Full wet.
Full
heavy
wet.
Rain.
Wow.
Heavy rain.
Heavy rain. Oh wow. Okay. Well, pretty typical of Suzuka. We do see quite a bit of rain here, and yeah, that's going to spice things up nicely. We're just on board with Apollo Pepsi, who once again is our first driver on a flying lap. His teammate Phoebus was starting one as well. Oh, we've got someone teleporting a little bit. At the
that was
top
Panda.
there. Hopefully he can get that sorted. I'll just bring up the track map.
Yes, people doing their bankers. Pepsi with the high IQ strat of always getting on stream by just going out first. That way we always watch the first person. It's always Pepsi.
One
but
second. Sorry guys, just got too fit to screen. There we go. Sorry. I was off canvas. Oh, we're good now.
Only professional stream here is Pepsi comes through spoon. Geordie's left as well. Hopefully he can rejoin. Is he out on track? I don't think
he's had some issues in the past as well, leaving during quali, so hopefully it's not going to affect him too much. Apollo Pepsi comes through 130R, bit of traffic up ahead, so he's out of the way. A little bit deep, pinch the brake on the right hand side. Pretty tidy. A few of the drivers in the practice session were saying that they're so used to that bumping there at the final corner that not quite used to taking it flat, but you can now take it flat in this game. I'm just going to jump down to Fever, who, yeah, hopefully... Oh, he's actually invalidated. Ooh, that's a shame. He had a pretty nightmarish race last season, so hopefully he'll bounce back from that this season. I'm going to jump on board with Nikau, who has also invalidated. Ooh, good top runners. trouble.
First steps, though. First steps.
Absolutely. Filling in tonight is Sim Dogger for Stars.
Yep.
So yeah, he's welcome return back to Tier 1.
Something in Italy, got 8th place there. Very nice to see.
Yeah, he's done pretty well so far this lap, so still valid.
PTR 26-1 as well. That's a really good banker.
Yeah, very competitive time there to set things off.
Pasty Madsway very strong as usual at the start. Some dog off a 27 flat. Good for 5th right now.
Yeah, not too bad for a banker. Definitely a lot of time to find there. Artanis 4th with 126.8. Jump on board with Ferrari of Smitty. Coming up to 130R now as well.
Take a lot of curb on these corners, and that looked okay.
Missed the epic slightly in 15, but, 17, but I know it looked pretty good. 126.958, so good enough for 6th place. As Panda sits at 126.280 for 2nd place in the Mercedes, and we've got the AlphaTauri boys as well, 3rd and 4th, so they've been pretty strong in their qualifying so far this season, but yeah, hopefully the race comes towards them a little bit more than it has done. I'm just on board with Flyboy in the Alfa Romeo. He's coming into turn 1 now to start his first flying lap.
Ooh, the S is so tricky to sort of nail perfectly. The more you do it, the more you're better at it. But
yeah, and you don't want to push the tyres too hard, so they will fade away a bit towards the end of the lap. And especially during the race, they're so easy to overheat those front tyres. Big lock up into the hairpin. I think I lost too much time there. The game can be pretty forgiving when it comes to lockups.
looks like a pretty good lap. Flyboy's generally been okay in qualifying.
Bit of traffic coming up at Spoon though, so hopefully they all get out of the way. We've got a Mercedes off the track there. It does cut
It's
to the
in and
side.
out.
We lifted a bit more than I think he would have liked. Hopefully that wasn't because he was distracted, but so I'm going to run now towards 130R. More traffic. There's so much traffic coming up into this final sector. We've got a Ferrari on the left-hand side of the road, staying out of the way, but it's put him offline slightly. Takes the apex inside. We've got an AlphaTauri on the gravel and a Red Bull going into the pits as well. So much traffic. They all do a good job. Flyboy sets 126.859 for P7. And jump back to the Renault of Combined, who's winding up the hill now as we speak.
Yeah, and Faber only a few seconds behind him has also started a lap. Combined, historically not amazing with quali, but he'll bring it in the race. And with the race especially, the tyre strategy goes out the window. It's going to be full wets probably, so
absolutely.
Just go ham on the soft tyres this session.
Greatest line in the hairpin. Looks like he lost a few tenths for the turn in, but keeps it going. Yeah, the McLaren of Fever is sitting just behind him, so he may just pick up a toe, but he doesn't want to be too close. Doesn't quite use all the track there. Combines can really exploit the track limits there on that exit curve, but it is a tricky corner to get right.
Yeah, and Combined is one of the only full-time drivers, I think, to have not scored a point this season, so he'll really want to get in their top 10 this week.
Yeah, he's had a bit of bad luck this season so far, so he'll be hoping that'll turn for him. Thank you very much, KRGFC, for the follow. And Combined sits to 128.3, so it's about half a second off his teammate Dan Camp, who's in 15th place. Speedbar sets provisional pole for 126.028. Oh,
25s will happen.
Almost in the 25s. Yeah, as we get some track evolution throughout the session, we should be seeing that now. We've got, I think Apollo Pepsi is, there he is, starting one, so we'll jump back on board with him. So Mikau's also set a 126.408, good enough for 4th place at the moment, but he'll definitely be wanting to improve that.
He's got a lot more pace in that lap, that's for sure. And Renault just, I was going to say they were just propping up the back of the leaderboard, but Sid's just rolling for 37 on the medium, so save them a little bit. But Pepsi now coming through this fast right-hander, just flicking it in. But down to 6th there, that's interesting. Usually you just check it down to 7th. Doesn't look bad anyway.
Big lock up in the hairpin, runs a bit deep. It's not the optimal line.
It's going to hurt, that's for sure.
He's got a bit of traffic coming as well. Got a Mercedes in front. It does stay out of the way. He's trying to get a bit of a tow, but not the greatest place to do it. Mercedes actually touches the grass there, trying to get out of the way. A little bit of oversteer mid-corner, had to correct it, but keeps the speed up. Uses that exit curve, like I mentioned just before. Just trying to keep that minimum of speed up as high as he can. The inside curve at 130R is a little bit wide. Generally you want to keep it tight, but brakes into 16. A lot of curve.
Currently.
Very tidy though through the chicane. Doesn't keep it that tight in the final corner, but it does come across the line with 126.586. It's split the Alpha Tauris, now he's in P6. We'll jump back to Matsui, who has invalidated, so he's not going to be able to respond this lap, unfortunately for him. Going to jump on board with Artanis now, who's on the run into Spoon.
He unfortunately invalidated here in the Tier 2 last season. Cost him, was it the win, I think, or a podium place?
Definitely a chance for the win, but yeah, he missed out on the podium. He was battling for second place with Trin at that point. It was on the final lap, but he got his third warning, and 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, yeah, under the rules.
He got there eventually, but... So, will Artanis coming through the last chicane.
Line goes provisional pole first in the 125s, 25.882. Great lap there from the Haas driver. Going to jump on board with Panda, who's currently on his second lap. Yeah, it was great. He's validated on the exit curve of the second Degner.
Wow.
And yeah, just pushing a little bit too hard there. Couldn't quite get it. We've got Pacey now, and the Alpha Tauri is also invalidated. So track limits are going to be key here, especially during the wet. It's going to be very, very tricky there. Going to jump on board with Ferrari Trin, who's just starting a lap, coming up through the twisty turns in Sector 1.
That's the scientific name for them.
Exactly.
I just saw Sid jump up with a 26.4 on the mediums, which was a nice retime there.
Yeah, that's... Oh, you didn't notice Trin invalidates on the inside curve of the first Degner.
I don't think he'd want to be qualifying on mediums, considering the conditions.
Yeah, I don't know the strategy behind that. I mean, you can only do 3 laps around here. It's a very long out lap and in lap, so I don't know what his goal is. Big Al has gone P2 with a 125.9, second driver into the 25s. But yeah, I mean, I know you can't pick your tyres after you see the weather forecast, but
if you flip the M, it's a W. That's the only thing I know. Yeah.
Peter's on a lap now in Sector 1. Let's see if he can respond to quick times set in front of him. Oh, he's lost it! And he's in the wall. Loses some of his front wing. The Alfa Romeo just loses the rear.
Oh, careful rejoining. Yeah, there we go. Did well to avoid the Williams, but just saw the Ferrari in time.
We'll have a quick look at that again. Go on board with him. So he looks pretty good through the first couple of turns. Down to 5th quickly, and then to 6th gear, up to 7th, but the rear just went on him mid-corner. That's a real shame for him. It looked like he was pushing pretty hard, but yeah, unfortunately it wasn't to be. On board with Bieber now, who's on a flying lap, purple in the first sector.
Yeah, just 600s currently.
Big lock up into the hairpin, but it keeps a good line. Pinches the front left through Spoon, but keeps that speed up. See what the split is as he comes up to the end of Sector 2. Just under 2 tenths up. That'll put him... should put him on pole, on provisional pole. Comes into turn 16. Heavy braking, locks up the front right. Should be fine though, takes a lot of curb.
It looks good.
Very tight through the final corner as well. That's what you want to do, minimise the track distance. And he goes pole with 125.740. Found another 10th there. A really good lap from him.
Macau set a 25.8 as well. Just ahead.
Yeah, so they got about just over 3.5 minutes left, so they should have plenty of time to do another lap if they've got the tyres. Jump on board with Matsoid, who's in Sector 1 as well. I think he's the only one on a flyer at the moment, maybe Geordie as well, but... Oh, Matsoid running very deep, nearly touching the grass. Geordie, I think because he's left the session, so that dropout, may be starting at the back of the field. We've seen that a few times this season, a bit of a bug with the game. Oh, very wide, Matsoid very wide at the first Stegner, and he's in the gravel, just under the bridge. He kept it out of the wall though, but...
He needs a lap is the problem,
that's the problem. I mean, when you overdrive the car, you're going to make mistakes. You just got to put that one solid lap in at the start, and then you can push, because at least you've got that time to fall back on. But now it's going to be a mind game now. He's got to get back to the pits now, if he's got another set of tyres, but just under 3 minutes now. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, Geordie was just out on a lap, but wasn't quick enough, so he's had to come back in to try go for another run.
Panda on that lap at the moment, same with Peter, who's just in the sector 1, so let's jump on board with Panda as he does his out lap.
Mikhail is leading the championship by 14 points. It's Mikhail with 120, Feeble with 106. You have to go down to Big L and third with 72 points. It's all kind of a two-horse race, but it's Mikhail and Feeble right now.
Mercedes driver coming across the start-finish line, commence his final run in qualifying. He's got to find half a second to get Fever off provisional pole. But a Haas out there in no man's land in turn 1, nearly rejoins the track. Right next to the Panda. Pushing so hard through these first few corners. Come out to a bit of traffic as he reaches the top of the hill, keeps it pretty much flat at the top of the hill. Great commitment there. Comes through the first Stegner, misses the apex and validates on the exit. Yeah,
he's got time.
Oh, and he's lost it. That's a bit
Not
silly.
enough time. He keeps trying to leave it an 8th there. I don't know if that's the way that the fast guys are taking it, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think he could have done it, but the problem was the Ferrari on the inside put him off, I think, because he's got to get out of the way. He's got some traffic behind him. I think that's Peter, who's... I know Peter's up there on his flying lap, sector 1.
I don't think he was impeded.
Doesn't make the same mistake, so Peter's made it through the top of the hill. Takes a lot of curve on the inside of Tegna 1, but didn't validate. Comes into the hairpin. Ooh, nearly touches the grass on the entry.
No lockup though. 200 out into Spoon.
Oh, he shifted out a bit too much there. I think he, I'm not sure if that was an accidental double shift down, but he did not carry as much speed through Spoon as he's expecting to. It's going to hurt him a little bit.
Oh, he's still improving.
10th up.
He needs to find some time if he wants to move
he needs
up.
to find more than that. That's not even going to get him past Big Al at the moment. Oh, it takes a lot of curb. Comes across the finish line. Climbs on a 10th and a half, but is not enough to get in front of Big Al. 6,000 to the second behind him. We're going to jump back. Who have we got?
Is people going to make it? I don't know if he is. Oh, he just barely made it.
Did Mikau make it? No, Mikau did not make it. Mikau did not make it across the line.
Wow. So Faber's the last one on the laps. Everybody else has got to finish their laps. So it's an AFR just crossing the line. Next is a Renault, I believe that is banned.
Yep. On board with Pacey at the moment. He's going through the last couple of turns. Currently 7th place.
Doesn't move up.
Goes up to
Pacey,
4th. Climbs half a second. 125.9. Got a Red Bull coming across the line as well. I think that's Big Al. About 700's up and he improves. Oh, 200ths of a second quicker than Artanis.
Try the next. 14th currently.
As Ali's called him Mazatrin. Comes across the line, 126.398. Good enough for 8th place.
Haas is rolling in. Both not improving.
Oh, and we've got Smitty's validated further back.
T-Mac up to the 7th for 26.2.
Great time there. Got Wahid has spun. Wahid has spun at turn 16.
Geordie, did he get a lap in? He's on a decent one right now. 26.3 just into the top 10.
See, Combines aborted his lap, Wahid's aborted his lap, and Sid is the last one left. Comes through the final corner. And goes 6th with 125.9. I think Fever's on a lap as well. He's run out of ERS. He's got no deployment left.
And at the same time Mikhail did.
He was a tenth slower, but his original provisional pole time stands, and he is our pole sitter for the race. So congratulations to him, setting 125.740. Mikhail second with 125.846. Big Al third with a 125.862, just 200ths of a second behind Mikhail. And then another 200ths of a second behind him is Artanis. So very, very tight at the top there. We've got Pacey in fifth with 125.942 and Sid 125.960 and Peter with 125.987. This is an incredibly tight field here in Tier 1. Big Al, Ali reminding everyone that Big Al is his brother. Thank you for reminding that us again. But yeah, that's really, really, really tight field there. So a second all the way down to 18th place. Even 19th is 1.087.
Wow.
That's so tight and competitive there. But yeah, so we're expecting full wet conditions for the race, so everyone will be on the wet tyre, so no strategy there, but these are going to be some very, very tricky conditions.
It's a curveball. Nobody practices wet starts, is the thing, at the very least. We get a few wet laps in. Not too many people will be prepared for the whole race in the wet, is the thing. And it's a different sort of game now, because there's a lot of emphasis on qualifying and getting good track position, because it's hard to overtake in Japan especially. But now it's a wet race. Well, I mean, no DRS. Anything could happen, really.
Absolutely. And there we go. It's heavy. There's puddles everywhere.
I should think they brought out the monsoon tyres. Oh, it's insane. When was the last time we had a full wet race? I know Mexico season 4 was partly wet.
Yeah, I think for most of season 5 it was just we had the old shower. But yeah, I don't think we've had one for a while.
I have to think back. No, season 3 is too far back.
I think season 4, yeah, definitely Mexico was pretty wet. I think
it was full wet. Like, I'm trying to think of full wet races, like full wet tyres, which is what the whole grid has right now. And they'll tentatively jump off the start-finish line. They just want to be feeling out the track, getting an idea for how the handling is. See, FIBA already pushing into turn 1.
Alright, drivers are on their formation lap at the moment, and
AWS Insight's really helpful here as well.
Wet.
It's a 1-stop or a 2-stop.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't see any point doing a 2-stop unless there's a timely safety car.
So it's gonna be full wet, so there shouldn't be any changes to like inters or anything like that, as far as we're aware.
Oh, these conditions look pretty treacherous. Fever's going to have to slow down. He's already at the hairpin, and Band is just at the top of the hill now in Sector 1, so it's... Well,
that's the thing. Going this quickly will help Fever obviously warm his tyres, but at the same time, he needs to get an idea of how the track is at speed rather than just crawling along. So it's a kind of a clever thing. I say that, it's common sense more, right? Yeah, Fever, Mikhail, Big Al. That's the championship order right there. Artanis, Pacey, also right up there. Sid, PTR. He's still looking for a win. He's hit a few podiums, but nothing crazy. He's got the pace for it. Two Mercs behind him, and Geordie sneaking into the top 10 eventually. People looking to make their way up. Matsoid, Flyboy, all got good pace. Combine and Band, don't want to capitalise and just be consistent.
I think Fever's just realised how far back the rest of the field is. He's the AI's
going
to be taken over now, but yeah, we've got a Ferrari, and I think that's Trin.
He's just warming now. That's why.
130R.
Wow.
It's going to be interesting to see what their tyres are going to be like on the grid. So yeah, these conditions look very, very treacherous. You see all the standing water, it's like glass. There's some reflection coming off.
If you're down in the grid, you are going to have no vision going into turn 1. That's something else.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty horrible. And It's going to be a big question mark as to what the brake zone's going to be like at turn 1. It's a tricky braking section at the best of times, so yeah.
Stewards gritting their teeth. Yeah.
I'm going on leave this week. Alright, as they're all formed up on the grid, we wait for the lights. And here we go. It's the AFR Japanese Grand Prix about to begin. And they're away. Pretty slow start from everyone, as you'd expect. Looks like we've got a bit of a movement at the midfield by the Haas. It's spreading out a little bit. Looks like there's a bit of action going on between the McLaren and the Ferrari. Pretty tidy so far. Haven't seen too much going on there. Everyone's been very respectful of each other.
Nothing going wide, that's lovely.
A little bit of concertina there between the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo. They're still being very well behaved. This is very
keep it a bumping, but yeah.
Everyone's making it through, not too bad. Looks like
it's painful.
Haas and an Alfa Romeo side by side at the top of the hill, but wow, well done.
TCR and Trent, yeah. Oh. So the all line astern, just taking it easy. And another thing, races are going to be a massive problem. They'll gain it all back by having to lift so much. So you can use it a bit more as well, which is nice.
Speed to go so deep into the hairpin. A bit of movement up ahead. We got 3 wide just in the exit of the hairpin.
Well, Panda having to go off track a little bit there, yeah. So the top 5 seem to have just sort of broken away. Geordie seems to be a bit of a cork in the bottle. Actually, Geordie made 4 spots out of that. Wow.
Great stuff from him. Peter and Trent side by side through Spoon. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two. Drag race to 130R. This is.
Do they do it? 130R?
Oh, not in the wet. Surely not. Yeah, Peter tucks in behind.
Good move. And good presence of mind.
Boys, we've got the racing point of Simdogger. Trying to make a move on the Haas. Pond and can't quite get it done.
Pacey petting?
Must have had some wing damage.
I was going to say clean lap, but it's unfortunate.
No, we've also got a bit of an issue with the usual kind of bug that we have with the leaderboard. Everyone's sort of positioned a bit. Oh, we've got a bit of an incident with Tannis.
Yeah, he's struck down. He's actually ghosted. So I'm wondering if.
It's the leaderboard's cactus. So.
No, he's definitely. Oh, hang on. No, it's the leaderboard. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll wait for that to sort itself out in this lab. We have this issue a bit. I'm just going to jump back to Panda if I can. The positions would stop moving around and I can actually select the car that I want.
Well, the good thing for Pacey is that he gets some clean air. He gets to feel things out himself as he runs wide. But he will have to pit again because the wet tyres do not last the whole race, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Jostling between the Haas of Ponton and the Renault combined. Combined's made some good ground so far. This race has got 3 positions.
Was Fahid always set in 19th?
It wasn't, I don't think. It's down 1 position, so he didn't qualify that well, but Peter's down 4 positions. He's had a horrible start. And yeah, we've got Apollo Pepsi up 4 positions as well as Gordy. So some good movers there.
So coming on to real lap 3 now.
Pretty close to the back to Fly Boys Alfa Romeo. It's a bit tricky following everyone at the moment. He nearly loses. Oh, we've got the Alpha. Oh, sorry, that's the racing point. Simdogger's gone around at the final corner.
And that's no damage, it looks like. So you can just keep going, but it's a lot of time to make up. So the top 2 here seem to have made a nice wee gap to Big Al behind. It's really all about who can sort of get a grip on the conditions the quickest here and make some inroads. As you say, Geordie, Pepsi, all making good spots, same for combined.
Yeah, and with these really treacherous conditions, the safety car is possibly going to be a big factor as well. If someone makes a mistake and ends up in the wall, it's going to bunch the whole field up again. Let's see another race restart.
Cause an incident of that calamity.
Yeah, and the old saying goes, safety cars breed safety cars, so...
Smitty's right on Flyboy.
Blind getting so much wheel spin in 4th gear. Yeah, we've got the Ferrari trying to get through. Yeah, for Romeo, the hairpin, he gets the job done.
Oh, that was a nice exit from Smitty there. Yeah, great job.
Renault just getting so much wheel spin.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what people do with their tyres as well. Whether they try and pit a little bit earlier, a little bit later. There's still a little bit of undercutting to be done, even though the strategy is pretty clear-cut, pit in the middle of the race. So what people do is T-Mac 5 seconds for corner cutting.
I think he went straight on through the chicane, by the looks of it.
So that wasn't track limits, that was a corner cut.
Oh, they got a safety car.
Was that to do with T-Mac potentially? Did somebody get
crash?
Damage?
I think so. Simdog was the only one that I've seen go around, and Pacey's the only one who's been in the pits.
Did anybody drop down? I don't think so. So the safety car's come out on its own volition, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe it's too wet. Maybe race control decided that they need a safety car to dry the line up a little bit.
That is so weird.
The only thing I can think of is that, yeah, maybe T-Mac going through the chicane was enough to trigger it.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
I've never seen that happen in the F1 games before. At least in multiplayer, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it come out for weird things or things that shouldn't come out, but yeah, it seems like on 2020 that it's not been too bad. But...
Yeah.
Oh, as we got a Red Bull's gone around just after the bridge. That's Big Al. Big Al has spun on the exit of the second Degner.
That's
under the
really
safety car. He's done a Bottas.
He's just letting them by. Does he have damage? I'm trying to see.
He does. He's lost his right end plate.
He's lost a lot of his right hand side of his wing, actually.
So you get a ticket down to AlphaTauri, spinning it behind the safety car. So he's lost out big time there. He's lost 15 positions from that spin. So the Red Bulls were 3rd and 4th when it came out.
Well, I find it interesting that the safety cars come out. There weren't really any... Simdog spun. T-Mac cut the chicane once. And the game decides, oh no, it's too wet. I think the drivers are handling it very well, weren't they? Race shirt had a lightning symbol on the clouds, apparently. Oh wow, that bad. Jeez. So this is like a full-on storm, basically. This is insane.
Yeah. Well, we know that the Japanese Grand Prix is typically held during typhoon season in Japan.
It has gotten wetter, hasn't it?
I got Peter has come into the pits. Not sure if he had wing damage. It looks like they're getting a replacement wing, so yeah. I wonder if something's happened between him and T-Mac. I wonder if maybe the end plate has come off and that's been enough to trigger the safety car. That might explain it then if there's been a bit of debris. Big Al also getting his nose replaced. But this is good for Pacey. It means that they're going to bunch up a bit again. Same with Simdogger after their incidents at the start of the race.
And they're slightly started on the pit stop strategy too. They can pit a bit later than the others.
Absolutely.
They don't necessarily pit.
So if there's any concerns around tyre wear, trying to push those wets to last the half race distance, that should help settle those a little bit.
Has it ever been this wet in a race we've ever had? I don't think it has.
I think we've had a pretty wet race. Remember we had a full wet race in China back in season 4, I think it was. And they were pretty horrible conditions. And I think I think it might have been either wets to intermediates or wets to wets, and it was borderline for getting your wets to last the whole race distance. It was some people who didn't live up their tyres well enough had punctures, so it'd be interesting to see if they'll last here, but yeah, with the safety car you'd expect it to be okay.
So safety car is rounding up most of the field now. Yeah, I've never seen it this wet in this game at least. It's just bucketing. Look at the water offline as well. It's just...
the inside of 130R as well. It's like a lake. You would not want to aquaplane on that.
Oh, God.
So it looks like we're going around again. Expect that the next lap should be the last lap of the safety car. What was Fever? He's nearly aquaplaned off at the final corner.
He was drifting through that whole chicane. It was incredible. It must be really wet for that to be happening, yeah. Especially because in quali we were seeing 25s. Or if people were running dry setups, they probably were.
Yeah, well, that's a good point as well. So if they've not looked at the forecast when they've done their race setups, they could all be running the wrong downforce, and that's going to be very, very treacherous.
Ride height's another thing as well. They tend to run the cars really low. And that is obviously a problem if you're running, say, 1-3, and you can literally aquaplane on this sort of track.
Yeah, exactly. Your car's going to lift off the ground, wheels won't touch it, and skid off. So as we've got Pacey pitting again. He's lost another wing.
Oh, has he?
He's lost another wing.
Oh no! Well, he can catch up, maybe.
I don't. Yeah. I don't think he will. Not in this lap.
No, I think the safety car just always goes at the same pace, doesn't it?
He must have done it on his own because he's miles behind Big Al.
Oh yeah.
He must have just lost it somewhere. Oh, that's a real shame.
Lap 6, and this is one of the more confusing races.
He's still going on, so that's good. Never give up.
Yeah, so we're resuming on lap 7, it looked like.
We've got some Tier 2 drivers saying they don't want to race anymore in the in the next session. Yeah, it doesn't look good, so hopefully it's clear for you guys.
Geordie cleared Jackson as well, just before the safety car, so Geordie from 10th to 4th. Pepsi 12th to 7th, I think it was. Check.
Yeah, so we've got Sid's gone up 3 places, so the top 2 are the same. Sid's gone up 3 places, Geordie's gone up 6, Artanis has dropped 1, Panda's up 3, Pepsi's up 5, T-Max in the same spot as he qualified. Trin's up 2, Mantoid's up 4, Smitty's up 6, Flyboy's up 3, Combine's up 6, Pondon's up 2, Bandcamp's up 5, Wahid's up 2, and Simdogger, Peter, Big Al and Pacey have all lost out. Simdogger just the 4.
One more lap?
It looks like it's another lap. Yeah, they must be giving Pacey a chance to catch up, which is good for you.
Well, if it's weather-based as well, then that's probably why.
Yeah. Big Al's lost 16 places, Pacey's lost 15, Peter's lost 11. And yep, we go around again.
Wow. I don't think the driver's going to be too happy with this little thing.
They just wait, keep going more laps around the safety car, the crowd's going to start booing, chat's going to start flaring up. FIA, typical. Let them race.
Massive debacle, yeah.
So T-Max got that 5-second penalty. He's the only one who's got one so far, and that was for what seemed like maybe contact between him and Peter at the final chicane. They were roughly around the same position when the safety car came out.
Yeah, I don't know if he caught that, but yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Pacey's almost caught the back of the safety car train.
This race is going to run long as well if we're running all 27 laps, I just realised.
We started a bit late as well. I don't think we're going to have time for interviews afterwards for Tier 2. That's alright. We'll
live.
Try and do a couple next week.
I think we've done them in a few weeks, just because of how things have worked out, yeah. Oh, we have Pondon around.
Oh, Pondon.
He's done that on his own too, and he does have damage.
Left end plate, he's lost it at the top of the hill. Pacey's gone past him, and yeah, this is a real shame for Pondon. That's a real shame.
At the very least, he gets a cheaper pit stop here.
Maybe if the safety car stays out again.
I'm wondering, how long is this going to stay out? Because some of these people that pitted onto wets recently, if it stays out for a few more laps, it's worth considering just going to the end.
Yeah, it depends, I guess. I mean, you want to be looking at what your wear rate is when the safety car comes in, and then just keep an eye on it for a couple of laps and just see what your wear rate is.
Yeah.
Quick maths and see if you can get to the end, but yeah, it's gonna be a stretch. Safety car is in this lap though. Just been informed by race control.
Unfortunate for Pondon.
On board with Fever.
Yeah, it's important to get the heat in. They've been around for a few laps now, so any heat they can grab, although I doubt there is much more water than heat, really. Last couple of turns now. Fever decides where to go, and I think he has gone.
He's gone, yep. Very tentatively. Oh, he nearly loses it in the final corner. Big snapper oversteer. Just going to jump a bit further back and to see what it's like on board with the Ferrari of Smitty.
PCR's right on Simburger.
Really horrible conditions.
Tanner's just going backwards, yeah. Lost position in the Panda.
Oh, he stayed out. Oh no, Pondon has come into the pits. So,
Yeah, Pondon's
unfortunate for him. That's really killed him, that safety car restart.
PTR made the move on Simdogger, that's for 16th. The big charge will surely continue throughout the race. A really good showing last season, came in second. Just lost out the Potsy as we saw before the start of the quali. And Fever's already got a second on Mikau, although everyone will be taking it easy. Because the rain, I think, has gotten worse since the start.
T-Mac there had a bit of a moment at the exit of the second deck. Now just hold this position in front of Trin, but Ferrari's very close to the back of the Mercedes. Jump it for the back, Wahid and Peter trading positions there. Big Al and Simdogger as well. Big Al storming back through the field. Of course he was on the second row of qualifying.
He's fighting!
Racing Point coming back at him. He's got the inside line through Spoon. Gives plenty of room though with the Red Bull. Just looks a little bit quicker in a straight line. Pacey as well, right on their back.
He's backing off the
close.
Yeah.
Nearly interlocked tyres there. Pacey. Take her around the outside. Oh, and the Racing Point nearly runs on the back of the Red Bull, but just manages to pull it up in time.
T-Mac had a shocking exit. Lost 2 spots there to try to Matsoid.
Further up, Matsoid, yeah. Battle on the pit straight. Into the first corner.
Oh. Matsoid just
runs
way
very wide, loses the spot to T-Mac. And now Smitty trying to get in on the action. So they wind up the hill through Sector 1.
Meanwhile, PTR sizing up Band a few spots behind. Though we have to be patient. Not every spot's a passing opportunity around here, even in the wet.
Yeah, we've noticed that Peter's been a very aggressive driver this season, but he's going to have to be careful. He's only got a few more points left on his license, but he's going for the... Oh, he's having a look at Bandy's... Oh, is he giving it a little tap there? He's right on the back of the gearbox of the Renault.
The PTR is it's definitely quicker in these conditions.
So much to be. Oh, Band tries to cover, but the bank ties a little bit. You see the brake disc glowing on the Renault as they go through the hairpin. But yeah, Band tried to cover, but Peter just managed to send it down the inside before he could block. He gets the move done, now up to 14th position.
So lap 9. We wouldn't usually expect people in with the wet race around lap 13. So how will people react to this? Will they want to pit straight away, get clean air for a couple of laps and try to jump other people? Or perhaps will they want to stay out longer and just sort of save tyre wear a little bit in the next set? It's interesting to see what will happen from here on.
Yeah, definitely, as Peter makes the move on combines, got past both the Renaults now, up into 13th position.
So again, Fever and Mikau sort of making their own little gap to sit the other Red Bull this time. Sit in third place. Geordie just chilling in fourth, and Panda's right on him. I believe Simdogger just made a move in Wahid there.
Yeah, it looks like Wahid ran a little bit wide there at turn 1. He was battling with Big Al, just 16th place, and it looks like he's lost out there.
Oh, he's flipped through Pacey as well. Can't see getting all the wrong camera angles right now. Oh yeah, but he does have damage. He's lost an end plate.
Yeah, I wonder if he's come together with Big Al. Turn 1, Flyboy picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Track limits are not easy here best of times, let alone when it's full wet conditions. Mikau's closing in on Fever a little bit. It's just under 7 tenths behind him. He's pulled away 2 seconds on Sid. Already, so yeah, it's fight.
Yeah, everyone in the top 6 roughly are definitely using right now just to try and get an advantage on the others. Fever's got a bit of a handful of a car, to be honest. Mikau's a lot more in control of his car right now. Fever is still ahead. Still got 6 tenths as we head into lap 11. penalties you just feel will be so important in this race because the field doesn't look like it's expanding out a massive amount of it. It has only been a few laps, but you can see these little packs. You know, Panda's still on Geordie. You've still got this train in ninth as Wahid. It's 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh no.
Big Al's right on band coming out of turn 2 into the S's.
Yeah, Peter's caught up to the back of Smitty as well. He's already up to P12, so it looks like Flyboy's let his teammate through.
Well, that's a gamble, Wahid. That's a gamble.
Oh, why on the inters?
Now, with an inters on the wet track, you probably won't notice any difference apart from the grip. They won't be any quicker. They really won't be. The point is, the inters don't push aside as much water as the wets do, so you don't really gain anything from using them.
Just looking at the track, it looks like there's not as much standing water as there was before, and the rain's not as heavy as it was before, but I wouldn't say that it's ready for intermediate conditions by a long shot.
Yeah, he's struggling. I did this back in Mexico in Season 4, try to help out my teammate with the tyre change, but you just don't really get anything out of it. Could be letting Geordie know how it is, seeing if it's possible at the very least.
Yeah, Geordie's running pretty well up in 4th at the moment, second off the pace from Sid, but doing pretty well.
I think I was closed right up on Fever. I say that, I think it's just exploded out with the chicane, but it was 4 tenths behind. It's a very push and pull around this track, even without DRS it seems.
Peter, just a couple of tenths behind Smitty, P11 now, so going through the pit straight. Of course, no DRS in the wet, so yeah, pass on merit.
Full PT, I wasn't going to make that for a second. He proves me wrong.
That's why under pressure as well from Smitty. Just behind. You can see with this onboard camera, so little visibility here. It's incredibly tough. Matzo runs out a bit wide. It's going to leave him vulnerable to the Ferrari. He's just doing enough to stay in front.
All over him is Smitty, yeah. That's what's struggling there. He's under a lot of pressure. And that's what covers there as well. Just not wanting any late dice, but he goes deep. Smitty goes sideways.
With a big drift.
He was so anxious to get onto the power early just to get that run on him.
Peter's got a really good run on the Ferrari now. He's not going to do it. He's coming into Spoon. It's a bit far back.
He backed off there.
And that's why running very wide onto the curb there. That would have been a warning. Oh, Peter. Nearly getting spat out into the inside.
Everyone's waiting for concrete chances here, really. It seems. Even PTR's waiting for a decent chance here. Mika's right on Fever, going down the start-finish straight.
He just jumped up on board. Fever covers to the inside. He's going to try. No, he lets the McLaren go through. Very high-risk move to try and get that done, as Smitty has got past Matzoid.
Got a good run.
Corner.
PTR will
cover now. He'll have to cover.
He had a look. He has a look. He taps Matzoid.
And he's going to try and get it. He's got it, I think.
It's still side by side.
All turns in on the Alpha Tauri. The two Alphas side by side. One up the hill. Matzoid's off the track. He's touched the grass. And now he's going to be vulnerable to Flyboy. Big slide there as he comes across the corner. We've got a yellow flag. We've got the Haas of Artanis has gone around. Artanis has gone around to the top of the hill.
He's in a nice strong position.
Oh, he's done well to stay out of the way there.
Must be flicked there, yeah.
He's lost his left end plate as well, so both Haas drivers have got damage. Gunther, I think, will be punching holes in all the walls at the moment.
It's not too terrible. He can still come in for his mandatory stop and he'll be fine on strategy anyway, but he'll cop 5 seconds for the wing change. And he'll be down in 18th, of course.
Oh, Matsoy nearly loses the rear as he comes across a small crest and run into Spoon.
Mikkel again looking around 130R, but I don't think he's going to try anything, no. Fever had to cover there, though.
He's still positioning his McLaren in the middle of the road to try and block the corner. Yeah, it's pretty close. Oh, both of them having big moments in that final corner where the old bump used to be.
we've got people pitting now, so this is what I was talking about. People are favouring that clean air, it seems. A couple anyway.
Yeah, it's just interesting because
Panda.
given the safety car, yeah, Panda's on the inters. But given the safety car, I thought they would have pushed the wets a little bit longer. It doesn't quite look like we've passed a crossover period. Like he'd struggled to maintain the gap, let alone close it to Pondon. So
Well, I'm wondering if
looks like Peter's
Chief is giving them a
gone
call.
off turn 1. He's battling with Matsoid again, so Matsoid's got through.
That's what an eighth now, yeah. I'm wondering if Jeff's giving them a call for the track to get lighter, rain, or whatever.
Possibly. We've got Artanis on the inters as well, so it's 3 now opting for the intermediates.
We have to watch their pace, yeah.
Yeah, definitely Panda, so he does call himself the Rainmaster. So we'll see. He has made the right call there.
I tell you, he's making inroads on Sid, who's on fresh wets.
Matsoid having to cover the inside from Peter. Still in front, but he has a lot of wheel spin on the exit. Peter's gone on the inside, and he's got the move done.
They can't
Eighth position. Matsoid's trying to hang around the outside. Can't quite do it. And he holds the position into Spoon.
Yeah, these inters are faster. Yeah, without a doubt. Panda is just...
Well, Mikow's got through. Fever's made a little mistake going into the final chicane, and Mikau is in the lead of the race. Fever has come into the pits, though. She's going to try and undercut on those inters. Geordie as well, so Mikau has stayed out. Oh, this will be interesting. This will be very interesting to see if he can get the undercut, get the lead back.
He will if he's on inters, because the inters are quicker right now. Panda's caught up with a second of Sid.
Yeah, Panda's already at the chicane. Let's see if he can come out in front of... Smitty's sped in the pit lane. It's a 5-second penalty. Panda can come in front of Fever. Not quite, but he's made a lot of gains. So Fever's the only car in front of him on the intermediate tyres. Sid has opted to take on the wet tyre. Is that Matsoid? Matsoid's gone. Oh, he has. He's got wing damage as well.
By himself,
yeah. He's lost his right end plate. Ferrari goes through.
So this is going to hurt Mikau, who stayed out on weird tyres. Pepsi had to stay out to avoid the double stack. And Big Al, well, he's just on slightly fresher wets. He won't know the difference, I suppose.
Flyboy and Sid both opting to get fresh wet tyres when everyone else has changed to intermediates. So I don't think that was the right call.
It was a tough call to make, though. It must have been a tough call to make. Or a gamble. Oof.
Fever gets past Big Al. Definitely the intermediates quicker than the wets at the moment.
Yeah, being a Big Al spot, yeah, you can't change the inters straight away.
Bit of battle happening just before the run into Spoon. Sid going backwards, lost 2 positions there to both Panda and Geordie. Panda up to P6.
Big Al's at a moment! And
they've got damage. That's Bandcamp's gone off. Big Al's got a 5-second penalty there.
The safety car, everybody can change the
full safety car now, and that's going to really help Mikau, who's just come into the pits. Fever is having to slow to match the Delta.
And Mikau has just been saved.
He has, and Pepsi as well.
Pepsi's in second.
Pepsi has gone to second place. His teammate's just behind in third. This is great for McLaren.
No way.
Fever is going to be hoping the Delta's going. He's flooring it now as he comes around the final corner. I think he's going to jump his teammate, but I don't think he's going to be able to get in front of Mikau, who's already in the exit lane. This is going to be very close, and Mikau's in the lead. Mikau's in the lead. Fever would have had the undercut if he didn't have to slow for the safety car.
That is incredible. I'd be fuming.
Oh, wow. Let's have a look at that replay. I did manage to catch it just a little bit. Let's see what happened there. So we were following that just on the run into Spoon. So we had... Yeah, Big Al was in P4. I think he's actually lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Al spun, and then he's basically he's drifted into the racing line. He's hit Bandcamp, who's then hit... I think who was that? The Mercedes of Panda as well. So Panda's got damage out of that.
So Panda and Banda are side-by-side fighting. Big Al's just parked on the middle of the track, and nobody can do anything, and a crash happens. It's just really unfortunate for all of them. Thankfully, they can all pit. They're all still in the race.
Yeah, so Panda's now down in P12. Bandcamp's down in 15th, although he hadn't yet pit. He was still on his full wet tyres. But he was really messed up by that incident. He was off in the gravel, so it's really unfortunate there. I definitely don't think it was intentional by Big Al. He's just lost the rear and Spoon on those old wet tyres, and yeah, unfortunately for everyone involved there, to get a lot of wind damage.
It's tough because nobody wants that as well. None of them would have wanted that. That just sucks. It really does. Anyway, PTR, 6th place. He's made up quite a few spots.
Yeah,
Trin's in 4th.
Let's have a look at the gains here. So Mikau's up 1 place, Fever down 1. Apollo Pepsi's up 9 positions now. Trin up 7 positions now in P4. T-Mac up 3 in P5. Peter's gained 1 net position up to 6th. Combined up 12 positions to P7. Simdog up 5 to P8. So after his spin where he was dead last a bit earlier, he's now well in the top 10. Pacey's lost a net 4 positions, but he was also at the back of the field for a time after damaging his front wing twice. Geordie's in a net P10, hasn't lost or gained anything there. Sid down 5, Panda down 3, Smitty up 4, but he does have the speeding penalty. Artanis down 10, Bandcamp up 5, even though that incident before he came into the pits damaged his wing. Flyboy down 1, Big Al down 14, he hasn't really, well after that spin, yeah, he's really lost out there. Pondon down 2, Matsoid down 5, and Wahid down 2.
So Pacey, who was down like 30 seconds at the start of the race, he's in 9th.
Great.
This is why you don't give up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for the follow, Fernan, too.
And chat, what do you think? Do you reckon we start tier 2 on time tonight?
We got 10 laps to go. We've got 27 minutes. What have the times been? Do you have the fastest lap at the moment?
Fastest was a 141, but that was back on wets.
141. So it's 10 minutes. Ooh, yeah.
And we still got more safety car running.
Yeah, we should still finish on time. There's about 15 minutes left worth of laps to run, so we should finish on time for T2.
Apparently 10 minutes till dry weather.
Oh, well, that's going to spice this up even more. 10 minutes.
Thanks
though.
for that.
That's going to be about 7 laps thereabouts. So maybe softs on the last couple of laps. That'll be interesting.
And it's always 10 minutes and a little bit, because that's just how the game tends to work. It's a little bit random sometimes, so we could see it being affecting things, we might not. People could start on inches on a dry track, how hilarious will that be? Oh god. The race has run long enough that we're running into the drier part of it. And the interchange really did throw us off. I thought it was going to be wet all the way through, that's what I was told, but
yeah,
still pretty wet.
Yeah, it really depends as well, because like if the laps are slower, then that estimate doesn't tell you what it's going to be after that 45-minute mark. So there is a last 15 minutes where it's a bit up in the air. Yeah, it's definitely spiced things up quite nicely. Wahid is coming in sector 1 now. Hopefully he'll be able to catch the end of the safety car. I haven't yet seen that it's coming in. I don't think it will just yet. Might have to do one more lap. But again, this is going to bring forward that dry period all there behind the safety car. And, yeah, we should get some more time off the slicks at the end.
How many safety car laps has this been?
It's been a few. The first one stayed out for a good 4 laps, I think. This will be the 3rd lap of this one.
So 4, 5. So there was 4 laps earlier. This will be the 7th lap. I think. Or 6. 6 or 7. Either way, that's still a good quarter of the race.
And it feels like they've been out for longer as well, because they're just going so much slow as Geordie nearly loses it as he comes around the S's. Just because of how slow the laps are behind the safety car in the wet, it just feels like it's out for so much longer. So
drivers will have to adapt again, because they need to find more time. They can't do what they were doing earlier on the wets. They've got to try be a bit quicker. They've got to be a little bit quicker on the throttle. They need to be a bit more aggressive in the turns, and if you're too aggressive, then you'll just spin or get penalties, and we may see some of that when we resume racing and people try and jostle for position. Wahid should catch the train, if not, it'd be pretty close. So it'll be 9 laps of running after the safety car comes in. The 2 McLarens, 2nd and 3rd. Both racing points also up in the points. Simdog doing well in 8th again. Combined, he wanted top 10. He's in 7th right now, but he has to hold it. And I've said it now.
You've jinxed it.
I've acknowledged it, which is even worse. No, he deserves the top 10 finish.
Starting to weave. The safety car is in this lap, trying to generate that heat in the front tyres. So Mikau now in front for this restart. He was in front for the last one.
Fever's very close to Mikau.
Oh, Panda's hit Smitty. 5-second penalty.
Well, Smitty's a Panda. Smitty was one behind him. Now the field all checked up there, yeah.
And Mikau's gone.
And Fever's stuck with him. That's a good restart from both of them.
Yeah, really good from Hone to stay with him. Oh, he's using his overtake to try. Oh, he's got the inside line. He's going to make a move for it. Into turn 1. Oh, he's gone round. Fever's gone round. Oh, he spun around and oh, he ghosted just as the traffic went straight through him.
Fever just tapped the right rear of Mikau, and there's nothing either of them could have done there.
He's got no damage.
That was super borderline. I guess that's just unlucky, you could even say, but...
Oh, he had such a good run. He nearly managed to get the move done at turn 1, but yeah, these cars are so easy to spin mid-corner when they get a little tap. That's really unfortunate.
That puts Pepsi in second. Trent is now in third. PTR is on for the podium here as Jordy gets 3 seconds.
Oh, the Williams and the Mercedes going at it. Oh, really hard and the Williams has gone off. The Mercedes has gone off. Mercedes is the wall. Panda's in the wall.
And that is the same place as qualifying as well. That's...
Panda's lost his left end plate and he's left. I'm not surprised. It's
yeah.
Yeah, they were battling incredibly hard through the deck and side by side with I think it was Geordie. Who's still defending against a Red Bull. He's got wing damage as well, so it looks like the Williams has picked up some damage from that contact as well. It's very unfortunate.
So, Mikau has a massive lead over Pepsi after the first lap. And PTR has already taken Trent and is right on Pepsi.
Who's still in P2, by the way, so a great race from him. But yeah, unfortunately, his teammate Fever's dropped way down the field, so it's going to be all up to him to bring it home from McLaren. We've got another yellow flag and a virtual safety car. Oh, we've got Pondon has got no front wing. Pondon has got no front wing at all.
He's stranded, he just wants to get into the pits.
Looks like Matsoid's got some wing damage out of this as well. Oh, so we've got a virtual safety car now. Third time.
Fever, Jordy, Pondon, Matsoid all coming in, yep.
Wow, okay. Yeah, there must have been something happened at the final chicane. We were on board with Pepsi at the time.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. People are going to drive. People really got to drive to find some more time, and this is what's happened.
Range almost stopped as well. It's become so light as the virtual safety car has ended. Mikau is now at racing speed. Peter's all over the back of Apollo Pepsi.
Pepsi's knowing how to hold, but for how long?
Goes for the move, the hairpin. Yeah, pretty easy move. I think Pepsi...
He tried the crisscross.
Tried to switch back, yeah. But I think he knows that he doesn't really have the pace to hold off Peter, and he's better off just letting him go through and trying to hold on for a podium. He's done very well, actually. Last season he picked up 3 podiums. He's not slow as Pepsi. He drives pretty smart as well. I think he knows when to pick his battles, like we just saw there. He didn't really fight Peter to hold on for second. And, you know, chances are Peter picks up a penalty, probably Pepsi be right there to pick up the P2 as well. So, good decision by him. He's going to drop back a little bit further. Artanis is on the back of Sid. Coming to turn 16.
Artanis, another unlucky driver, but he's in 11th now. He's on for points if he can get past these couple of drivers.
Yeah, we saw a great recovery drive from him last season in Tier 2 where he was way down the field. Managed to come back through it and end up finishing just off the podium. It's Bandcamp trying to make a move on Big Al into turn 1.
Big Al just took him out of the chicane, yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to get the position back. I'm sure Bandcamp's not too happy with him after the spin at Spoon. Took out a chunk of the grid.
Yeah, this train here behind Combined for 6th place. A few drivers really lining up now. Combine's so well to hold them off. But Sim's also not really able to make a move, so let's leave Pacey and Smitty sort of a bit impatient here, it looks like. And Smitty actually just barely touched Pacey there as I say that. Smitty does have 5 seconds as well.
Oh, Smitty's tapped the back of the AlphaTauri. Pushed Pacey a little bit deep there. Ooh, has a lot of wheel spin off the racing line there.
Sid's waiting in the wings as well. Tennis not too far behind.
Pacey making a move on Simdog into Spoon, and he's tapped his rear tyre. He's managed to save it, and he's had to run off, and he's lost the position to Smitty as well.
Didn't know if he was far up if he was up enough alongside to try like that. Yeah.
I think he was. It looked like he just had enough there. It's not a great overtaking space we saw in real life. He's trying to go into 130R. Pushes the Ferrari off. Oh, this gone around. Smitty's in the wall. Pacey's in the wall. Pacey is out. Smitty is out.
Both out.
They are both out. They tried to go side by side in 138. We have another safety car. That's a third full safety car.
Wow.
That was a massive crash. That was a massive accident.
Pacey was fuming. I think Pacey was just fuming. He just wanted to get
they're both
done.
out now. Oh, let's have a look at that one again.
Wow.
That was absolutely insane. Oh, come on, frame rate. There we go. So yeah, Pacey was alongside, and he took a bit of the curb. Smitty just lost it on the AstroTurf on the outside, and yeah, oh, that was a big hit for the AlphaTauri. Ripped his front wing off and broke his left suspension. That was an absolutely mental crash.
And Pacey just couldn't turn it in enough. Smitty ran wide anyway, but like when you're out into basically a massive puddle that is the outside of 130R, then you're a passenger. Oh.
Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of speechless. That was like, yeah. I thought Spoon was pretty fair enough. Like, there was a little bit of contact when Pacey ran wide, but
Spoon is a chance. Spoon, you can do that.
130R, you can hardly pass in the dry. Like it's not a safe place to pass. And Big Al has got a drive through for speeding under the safety car.
Oh no, and he can't serve that.
He's currently P10s. He's going to have to wait for the end of the safety car period to serve it.
Now, Band has just come in for some fresh inters. And Faber is in 14th as well, but Band was able to just only lose 1 or 2 spots to get that done. Maybe he can have a little bit of an edge on pace on the people in front of him.
Nothing to lose. He's outside the top 10 anyway, so yeah, fair enough.
But Big Al will be coming in now. Flyboy has a penalty.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we have any other cars that have any wing damage? Let's see.
It would have come in probably, but
yeah.
Well, Mikhail's come in. PTR's come in. Some of the field are blinking here. What is going on?
Surely they're not grabbing tries.
No, surely not. I'm seeing tries.
Mikhail's got softs.
Holy, what is this call? Mikhail was safe in the lead here, but he's protecting himself. It's still raining.
Peter's gone fresh inters. While Mikhail and Simdog have both gone softs. Mikhail, so the 2 racing points opting for slick tyres, the rest of the field on the intermediates.
What is this call?
It's still raining. I can see that there's a little bit of drizzle and there's spray coming off the tyres, but we've seen this strategy before where if the safety car does stay out for a couple of laps, we know that there's a bit of dry weather coming. It could be enough. This could be enough for them to...
At the same time, it's also, if it doesn't
then they've
stop,
just thrown away a win and points for the Racing Point. They were both in good positions there.
And look who's in first if it keeps raining.
Apollo Pepsi. Apollo Pepsi is leading this race for McLaren.
Team X on for a podium. Combines in 4th. What is this race?
That could either be a master strategy from Racing Point or it could be a Mercedes call at Germany.
And people are reacting to this as well. Geordie, Pondon, Metzoid, all in for softs. So they're not the only ones. And has it stopped raining?
Yeah, it's still drizzling. I can see it. As Fever has picked up a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags, so he's obviously passed someone he shouldn't have.
Wow.
It's still drizzling on my screen.
Yeah.
There's still spray coming up from Pepsi's intermediates.
The thing is, Mikhail would not have made that call unless he was absolutely sure that it was going to be fine later.
He's a very experienced driver. He races in multiple leagues. He knows what he's doing, but it's a very big risk, especially so early in the season. You don't know what's going to happen down the line.
Well, his main points rival was down in 13th, but
Safety car
even
is
so,
staying out, and this is the other thing as well. The safety car's staying out, so he's only going to have a couple of laps to make up the position. So if it does stay, well, if it does start to hit that crossover period, is he going to have enough time to make all those positions back up?
oh, they've got a car stop. It's
Artanis is retired. Artanis is retired. He's hit the pit wall. He's hit the pit wall.
Under safety car conditions.
He's parked in the middle of the road at the final corner.
I don't think we've seen that.
Well, we have seen it. We saw Bully do it last season in Tier 2.
Oh, true.
I think he's got no rear tyres on at all. I don't know.
And it stopped raining. I think it's actually stopped raining.
Oh, yes, it has. There's no drizzle on my screen anymore.
Sid's pitted.
Still a lot of spray. I can't keep up what's happening with this race.
Oh, this is madness. This is madness. So what do you do if you're in front? Wow. You gotta commit.
You gotta stay
The
out.
safety car's gonna come in, yeah.
It's gonna come in this lap. You've got to stay out. There's enough spray coming off those tyres. You only have to do 3 more flying laps after this. You pit now, you go to the back, you're not going to get back in the points.
But if you don't pit, you're a few seconds a lap slower. Wow, this is incredible.
It's a tough call, but I think if you were going to pit for slicks, you had to do it before you got the safety car.
So you're too late. Yeah.
I think it's too late. And Matt's always picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits.
So Mikkel, Sid, Simdog, Geordie, Pond, and Matswood, all they have to do is keep their noses clean while Matswood's dropped off a little bit.
I think Pepsi's going to be okay because he does have 6 cars behind him on the intermediates as well, between him and Mikkel. Mikkel has to very quickly clear all those guys to even be able to get back on first place.
And a lot of people here combined, he'll just want points. T-Mac, he's on for a podium for crying out loud. He can still get good points. A lot of these people might just fold to Mikkel here and say, you know, I just want a good points finish is the thing. Yeah. And still, Mikkel has to pass all these people. Same for the people behind him. They need to get past these cars and not get damage or penalties.
Yeah,
this is insane.
Still waiting for 4 cars at the back to catch the field.
So are we getting a call?
Is the safety car going to stay out for 1 more lap?
Looks like it is. It's only going to help the soft runners.
We've spent nearly half of the race under safety car. This is insane.
Okay, what does Pepsi do?
He's got to stay out. You can't. Oh, he's
Pepsi
staying out. He lifted.
Trend,
he thought about it.
Yeah.
I think it's too late. If you pit now, you're throwing away points.
PTR's come in style.
Bieber's in as well. I think Bieber's probably decided to do that because at least one of them, if they get it wrong with the intermediates, and Bieber can come back with the softs. But if you were going to do the slicks, you had to make the early call. You can't sit behind the safety car and let everyone bunch up and then pit.
Bieber's not going to lose too many positions, but the problem is actually catching back up to the rest of the field.
Exactly. They've got to catch the train and they've got to get past everyone. And at the moment, Bieber's sitting behind, 4 other cars already on slicks.
And the worst feeling is just sitting behind the safety car, knowing you're on the wrong tyre, and knowing that you're going to get swamped within the next couple of laps. It's the worst feeling. There's nothing you can do about it.
Absolutely. There's still
and Big Al's still going to drive through.
He does, yes. And we've also got, a couple of drivers with 5-second penalties. There's still a lot of spray coming up as well. I don't think it's quite optimal conditions for the softs to be quicker than the inters. And we've only got 2 laps after this, so Pepsi just has to hold on for 2 laps to get a win in Tier 1.
This is madness. If he pulls this off, this is the greatest one ever. Wow. Oh, wow. How does Slicks behave when passing off? I'm not entirely sure if they're that much different, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, theoretically they should be slipperier, but...
Yeah, I don't know how effective the Matswood's left. Oh,
he spun out, yeah.
Final corner.
So he's got no hope, so yeah, same with Panda. There was still an Inters, by the way. The AI still thinks the wet tyre is the right call.
Let's come through Spoon. Pacey has left the session. Oh, right, he was... That's
retired, yeah. Oh. You couldn't write this stuff, you know?
Absolutely. Safety car's in this
2
lap.
lap shootout.
Here we go.
2 lap.
Pepsi has 2 laps to hold off a charge from Mikau on the soft tyres down in P8 in a drying track. It sounds like a scenario on one of the old F1 games.
Does.
Can he do it?
There's still spray coming off. It's going to help. But those Inters, They shouldn't overheat straight away. That's the main problem with dry conditions.
Comes into the final chicane now. He's got control of the grid, and he's gone. Final corner. Bit of a wobble. It's still very slippery out there.
There's still some spray.
Bandcamp has got past Mikau. Bandcamp has got past Mikau on the intermediate tyre. Mikau's going to the inside. Oh, but Bandcamp's pulled out in front. He's got 6/10 on him already into turn 1. I do not think that the track is ready for soft tyres. I think Mikau's made the wrong call there.
Wow.
He's already a second behind Bandcamp, and he's only a couple of corners away.
Wow.
Look at the grip. He's sliding all over the place as he comes up the hill. He's locking up, aquaplaning. Oh,
so
no.
the massive grand finale we all thought was going to happen. But still, there's still a massive battle up front here. Pepsi has to hold on still.
But he's 8/10 clear of Trin already. He's had a great restart there.
T-Mac is on for third. Combine's on for his first points, and then some.
Panda has rejoined because he realises that it's not soft conditions.
And he's on Inters!
He's on Inters in P13. I think he may have not.
Count.
I think he spent too many laps not in the race, so I don't think they'll count.
So you have to do it under your own steam, obviously. So
yeah, you have to do
if
it
he
at least.
gets points.
Yeah, I think his AI's been in charge for more than 5 laps, so I don't think it'll count.
He's just taken charge now, but it's really funny either way. It has messed up our timings for now, though, but they're all understand.
Yeah, lost the intervals, but yeah, it looks like all the soft runners have dropped right off. You can see Panda's AI, well now Panda proper is up in P12. But they've dropped off massively. Have we got a the Mercedes is still running fine.
The AlphaTauri of Matsoy that has left the session is coming up to the leaders, actually. It's ghosted. It's the last lap as well, though.
Yeah, starting the last lap of the race. Apollo Pepsi is in front from Trin, T-Mac combined. Big Al, Flyboy, Wahid, Bandcamp, Mikau, and Sid. Mikau and Sid on the soft tyre. There's still spray coming off those inters, though.
Come on, Pepsi. I know this is... this is amazing. Big Al, he hit a drive-through, didn't he?
He does. He'll have to serve it this lap. He's probably doing Michael Schumacher, unless he's managed to get away with it.
He'll get disqualified if he crosses the finish line with a drive-through hanging over him.
That's true. He might be trying to do the Michael Schumacher and serve it on the last lap. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Simdogger's gone round. Simdogger's gone round. The soft tyres let it go. He's lost his right end plate as well.
Is there any spray coming off the cars? I don't think there are. There is now.
There is a little bit on my screen, but very little. I think little puffs occasionally, but it's starting to cross over.
It's enough, though, that the Inters, there's 8 seconds from Mikau, so I don't think soft runs...
Pepsi is flying. He's 1.8 seconds clear of Trin now, who's 2.2 seconds clear of T-Mac, 1 second clear of Combined. Big Al is right on the back of the Renault, though. So coming to Spoon, there is still a bit of spray coming off the tyres, so...
Surely not going to try anything. He has a drive-through. He knows that it would be a bad thing to do. It's Combined on a wheel. Quiet alley, not now. No, he's on pad. But Pepsi now... coming for the last chicane, and this is a monumental win for him.
Jumping on board with Apollo Pepsi as he comes through the final corner to win the Japanese Grand Prix of Season 6 for AFR Tier 1.
Trin in second, T-Mac third, Combined for his first points finish.
We got Big Al comes across in... Oh, he's dropped right down.
20 seconds.
20-second penalty front serve drive-through, so that's how it has been disqualified.
Okay.
Wow.
And Jordy gets... Oh no, Fever gets in the points.
Fever's got in the points, Mikau Sid.
And fastest lap.
Yeah, and as Pepsi crossed the start-finish line, DRS was enabled.
And Mikau got some points out of that still. Same for Sid. Band is in 6th. Reno had a really good race there. This is the most insane race we've ever had in AFR, I think.
And Simdogger comes across the line. And what a race. Congratulations to Apollo Pepsi for his first win in AFR Tier 1. An absolute stellar drive from him. He did so well. And Bandcamp driver of the day started 3rd last on the grid, I believe. And
well, a McLaren won, but not the one we thought was going to win.
Exactly. And we got the Ferrari of Trin there in P2, the Mercedes of T-Mac in P3. And this is not the usual podium that we see in Tier 1 this season, and I'm really excited by that. That was a really good drive by all of them.
I don't think either of them have had a penalty this season, not a podium this season. None of them have, no. Wow.
We got Seb in the chat, Race of the Year, and absolutely
Yeah.
This season, that is the race of the season so far, and it'll take a hell of a race to top that. Just going to run through the grid one more time. Polo Pepsi with the win, Trin second, T-Mac third, Combined fourth, Wahid fifth, Bandcamp sixth, Flyboy seventh, Vicar eighth, Sid ninth, and Fever 10th with the fastest lap of the race as well. We've got Peter, Geordie, Ponzin, Big Al, Simdogger rounding out the finishes. We've got Panda, Matsoid, Artanis, Pacey, and Smitty not finishing the race. Wow. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in for Tier 1. I'm going to need a couple of minute break to cool down after that and get ready for Tier 2. Jacob, you've got to go and jump into your team chat to get ready for the Tier 2 race as well. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, everyone. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you soon.
See you soon.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Aussie Formula Racing Season 6, Round 7, I think it is, at Suzuka, Japan for Tier 2 here tonight. Wow, hope you all had a moment to wind down a little bit from the excellent Tier 1 race we saw earlier today. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you do catch the replay that will be put on YouTube in 24 hours. So here we'll go over the track layout for Tier 2, 5.8 kilometres, 18 turns, 1 DRS zone on the pit straight. Couple of highlights from last season's race. Firstly, we had here turn 1, nice battle between Combat, Batemate, Artanis and Saxa, going 2x2 into turn 1. Alfa Romeo had to check up as the Red Bull had to brake a bit early to let the McLaren go through. And they eventually settle down into going single file up the hill in Sector 1. Later on in the race, we had Simdogger lost it on the exit curve of the second Deckner and crashed into the wall under the bridge, losing his front tyres in the process and not finishing that race, unfortunately for him and Williams. Turn 14, better known as Spoon, had a great battle for the last few laps of the race between Artanis and Trin. Artanis right on his tail in the final lap, ran a little bit wide in the exit of Spoon, and there you go, picked up his third warning and a 3-second penalty. He did that again in Tier 1. 3-second penalty, which put him off the podium. He was on for a P2 finish there if he just kept within 3 seconds of Stars in the front. We also saw this a bit earlier today as well in Tier 1, but Bully DNFing, hitting the wall that separates the pit lane from the rest of the track. Alright, drivers are out for quali. Dry conditions we have at the moment, and I would ask Bandcamp what the weather's going to be like for the race, but he's gone into the wrong voice channel. I'll just drag him down. Hello, Band. Are you there? Yeah, you weren't in the commentator's box, so I couldn't ask you what's the weather going to be like for Tier 2?
It's going to be all dry.
Okay.
As well, so no cloud or anything apparently.
Okay, we should have a bit of a normal race after the excitement of Tier 1 a bit earlier. Congratulations as well for your result. It was a pretty good one from what we saw, apart from that little incident at Spoon.
Good recovery, and yeah, just kept it clean, so yeah, good result.
So turned off some of the overlay, there we go. Alright, so we've got Lights as the first one to start a flying lap. On board with the AlphaTauri driver coming into turn 1. A few yellow flags flaring up on the track as drivers jostle for position, starting their flying laps.
A couple of guys coming out on the mediums, Combat and Conrod.
Yeah, I'd expect that's probably just going to be to save them an extra set of softs for the race if they need it. Tier 2's pretty tight. You'll be struggling to get in the top 10 on the medium tyres, I think, at the moment. To have a couple of fill-ins tonight. We've got Conrad again joining us to help out. And we see the return of Dezelerate as well, who's a former full-time driver who's free tonight to help fill the grid. Let's have someone else. Someone else filling in tonight? Or just those two?
It's just those two.
Oh, and we've got a surprise race winner entering the chat. Congratulations to Apollo Pepsi. Thank you as well to MathCraft007 for following.
Yeah, it was good to see Pepsi get his first win. Been around for a while and finally bagged a win, so congratulations to him.
Lights comes across the line with 127.762, so a little bit off the pace that we saw a bit earlier in Tier 1. Mickey setting 127.597. Hero 126.705, that's a bit more like it. Let's jump on board with Wingman on the run into 130R. Bit of a lockup coming into turn 16, but keeps it pretty tidy across the curbs. Ali 126.669 on provisional pole, as Wingman sets a provisional pole with 126.598. Great finish from him. Another racing point of Jacob Meister as well. quite getting the apex at 16, but keeps it together nicely. It's very close to that pit wall. Around final corner. Only good enough for P7 with 127.532. We did see a couple of times in the 125s in the Tier 1. So let's see if anyone can get close to that. Looking at the Ferrari of Saxo's just started a lap. No, he's almost finished the lap. Comes up to turn 16. That's very wide for the final corner. It's going to slow down a little bit. So that's 128.544. King J's invalidated his lap. Now we've got Nutkeeper and Mr. Spicer on outlaps at the moment. Keeper as he starts his lap.
Keeper's had a rough trot of late, so he'll be definitely looking to get a good result on the board.
Yeah, he had some issues last week with his internet connection. Resulted in a bit of desync and him getting taken out by, I think, ghost cars essentially. So hopefully that's resolved itself for tonight. He's able to bounce back with a decent result. He has run a little bit wide. Final corner in sector 1. Keeps it together. Comes into the second, close to the second deckners. Very wide at the second deck now, and that's compromised his exit there. Didn't quite use all the track. Comes up into the hairpin. Pretty tidy line there. Takes a deep entry, but cuts back nicely. Get on the throttle nice and early. Over the crest. Down again as they come to Spoon. Gets in nicely, uses all the track available on the exit, and doesn't quite carry as much minimum speed as we've seen a lot of the other guys do. Really want to be running out onto that exit curb. Flat all the way. 130R, easy flat now in these cars. 16, tricky chicane, misses the apex on the inside, misses the apex on the exit as well. Scruffy lap from the Mercedes driver. It's only good enough for 15th to 128.3. Jump on board with his teammate Nut, who's just come under the bridge after the second Deckner and into the hairpin. Not quite using as much track as his teammate on the entry, but the exit does quite a bit. Carrying as much speed down the straight as possible. Seems a pretty nasty accident between Ferrari and the AlphaTauri in the Tier 1 race. Oh, here's a big lock up into 16, misses the curb, takes a lot of the second one. And comes across the line. So 127.893 is a little bit better than his teammates, but definitely a lot of time to find there. Mr. Spice is on a lap as well. There we go. No, he's already just finished the lap. And P7, 127.234. Thanks for following, Gary11. Got lights. Let's just start another one. Let's jump on board with him. Let's just have a look at the times at the moment. So we've only got the 4 cars in the 126s at the moment. Oh, as the Williams and Mr. Spicer gets a little bit in the way of the AlphaTauri there. Twisty uphill section. So yeah, definitely expect to see the times drop as the session progresses. Ferrari having to cut up some grass to stay out of the way of lights there as he comes to the first deck. So purple first sector. Not sure if that's accurate, but pretty tidy through the 2 Degners. Oh, he runs very deep in the hairpin, doesn't switch back as much as we saw Keeper do just before. And that's going to hurt him all the way down the run to the Spoon. Yeah, expect Quantum, Baitmate, Mr. Spicer, Jacob definitely as well to do much better times in their second runs. Really expecting a lot of these guys should be able to put in low 26s. How competitive Tier 2 has shown to be so far this season.
Yeah, very, very tight at the moment.
lights, comes across the line, improves by 4/10 and goes up to P8 with a 127.320. Jump on board with Wingman in the McLaren, who's currently our provisional pole setter. Comes up to Spoon, should get a delta in just a moment. Batemate, provisional pole was 126.417. There we go. We're seeing a little bit of track evolution as Mickey also sets 126.910. Skins 126.830. So we should start to see those times tumble. The session continues.
As you mentioned, Baymate getting pole at the provisional pole. The Williams guys will really want to convert these good qualifyings into some race points. Because, yeah, they seem to go backwards a little bit in the race.
Absolutely. We just saw Wingman sort of 126.4 on provisional pole now, so just 8 thousandths of a second clear of Batemate. And the two half stripes came across the line. Some Heroes 126.470, just 100th of a second behind Skins in P3. Top four all setting 126.4s, so it's getting pretty tight now with 7 minutes remaining in the session. With the Red Bull of Ali now on the run into Spoon. Coming up to a little bit of traffic, Williams and the McLaren. See him coming. Very tidy line by Ali. Ooh, gets a little bit of a toe from the Williams, who didn't realise he was there until the last minute. Goes out of the way. Red Bull comes across 4/10 up on his second time. So McLaren goes straight on at 130R to stay out of the way. Oh, big double lock up by Ali in turn 16. It's going to waste all that time that he's gained. Comes through the final corner. He does improve, but only by 84 thousandths of a second, so he lost about half a second there. And that's a real shame. That could have put him almost into the 25s if he'd been able to pull that all together.
Yeah, that would have been a proper quick time.
Yeah, only a couple of drivers managed to do that in the Tier 1 qualifying slightly earlier. Memorable was Psycho. He's currently sitting down in P12 with a 127.573. Currently 3/10 up, so this is going to put him up to around about P10. Clips that inside curve nicely, takes a lot of the next one. Tight through the final corner, comes across the line, improves by 6/10, let's put him up into P10, just 4/100ths of a second behind Mickey in P9. Now we've got King J, who's just about to complete a lap as well. He's 7/10 up on his time. That'll put him up into about 14th place, and goes 13th. Just climb another 10.2 in the final sector. I think that's pretty much everyone finished their flying laps for now. They've come out for one more run to the end of the session. This Spice is actually just starting one now. Turn one's always been a tricky one. Brake about halfway through the corner and trail brake all the way around. Engine braking. Just to get the speed down, but you don't want to lose too much. There's a lot of fast sweeping turns here at Suzuka, coupled with a couple of fairly long straights. So it's always a tricky one to find setup as he misses the apex of the second Degner. So you need that downforce to be able to go quick through the tight and twisty sections, but in this city coming into 130R or down to turn 16, you've got too much wing on, a fair bit of drag. Thanks for following ABD 321K. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Spicer pretty tidy through Spoon, runs it out wide onto the exit curve. Very tidy into 16 and 17. Comes across the line. Good enough for P7, 126.749. Pretty much everyone's in the pits or on an outlap at the moment. Everyone's setting their time on the soft tyres, so yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's going to try and go for an alternate strategy. It's a bit hard with how competitive it is at the moment. Looking at the times, 1 second separates first to 12th. Yeah, top 4 all setting 1:26.4s. Combat wrap from Renault, just on a flyer now. Jump on board with him. Oh, as Mickey has DNF'd, he's, I think he's retired on track. Hopefully his AI doesn't block anyone or no laps.
So I believe Combat's only set his time on the medium tyre, so I think this is his first soft run.
Yeah, that's correct. So
going by the time it'll be his only soft run.
Yeah, he's only got 2 minutes 40 left. That's not enough time to do another in lap and an out lap. His teammates currently sitting up in P3 with 1:26.4. And the Renault drivers are pretty evenly matched this season, blocking out a roll on the grid most races.
Yeah, no easy feat or any stretch of the imagination. Only had a handful of front row lockouts in AFR.
Oh, he's come straight into the pits, and I think he's just realised he doesn't have enough time. Mick has just been disqualified.
Parked in a dangerous location. So he was in the S's in Sector 1, I believe.
Right, okay. So he must have
think
spun and then, not got out of the way. Oh, he's joined. Oh, he must have dropped out and then his AI's parked it. Oh, that's unlucky. That's unlucky.
It's not. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, he can't get back in and do a lap anyway. But
so
he'd set a time, so that's been removed now.
Yeah, so he'll have to start from the back of the field, which is a real shame. What was Decelerate? Alright. Yep, this is going to set a time on the softs, so I think he must have made a mistake on that flyer. It did sound like he'd backed out of it, so it was 2 minutes down or something, but he had his hot lap deployed. King J's retired from the session. That's him done.
Yeah, but you may as well just try and set the time, but maybe he was even down on his delta, so
that's possible as well.
Who knows?
Accelerate. 130 yards, but a bit of traffic ahead. The McLaren of, I think that's Wingman in quantum effects.
45 seconds left to get across the line.
The driver's running very wide at the final corner. You really, at the end of your hot lap, need to be cutting in, minimising the track distance as much as possible.
Well, I will say this, a few of us were having a chat before, and some of us have PTSD about the bump that used to be there that was never there. And so, you go through that final corner and you're expecting the bump, but it doesn't come.
Yeah, absolutely. I was chatting to Jake about that in the Tier 1 quali as well. Yeah, you can keep it basically flat now in F1 2020.
Yeah, you can.
Mate just about to complete his last flying lap. He's currently in P2. He's taken too much curb, and that's it. He's not going to improve from second position. Comes to the pits. We'll jump back to Jacob Meister. No, not Jacob Meister. Psycho, who's the next racing point. Have to cross the finish line. And he finds 2.5 tenths. Goes behind his teammate in P7 for 1:26.721. Got an AlphaTauri of Lights about to complete his final lap. Comes across the line, improves by 100th of a second and does not change positions. Got a couple of Ferraris about to cross the line now. We've got Saxa. Comes across, improves by half a second, only goes up to 16th with 1:27.898. Got the McLaren of Quantum Effects next across the line. Can't improve. Got the racing point of Jacob Meister. 5 tenths down in his time, improves a little bit in the final sector, but can't improve his overall time. The AlphaTauri of Decelerate has come into the pits. Got the Haas of Hero though, about to finish his lap as well as 3.5 tenths up. Comes across the line, goes provisional pole with 1:26.002. We've got the Red Bull of, I think that's Wombi, has come into the pits. We've got the Mercedes of Keeper is still out there. No, he's run off the track at the final chicane. Wingman comes across the line, improves by 0.04 of a second, but cannot get provisional pole. P2. And I think that's our qualifying complete.
Yeah.
Just got to wait for one bit to retire. So congratulations to Hero, setting pole with 126.002. Can't quite break into the 25s. Pretty solid time there. So second covers the top 10. So guys not quite able to bring it on their final runs. It's a few invalidations. So unfortunate for them.
Yeah, Suzuka is one of those tracks you've really got to be committed, and if you go wide, well, yeah, there goes your lap.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Hero 3/10 clear in pole position in the Haas, followed by Wingman, McLaren, Batemate, Skins, Ali, Jacob, Psycho, Mr. Spicer, Quantum, and Mickey. So that those top 10 will have to start on the soft tyres. They set their time in quali. Lights, the first driver with free choice tyre in 11th, followed by Zedzelerate, Wombi, King Jake, Nut, Saxa, Combat Keeper, Conrad, and Mika, who unfortunately his AI got him disqualified, will start from the rear of the grid. So we hope for the countdown for the race session. It's a pretty standard grid. I mean, Combat being out of position down in 17th is a bit of a surprise. We normally see him be pretty solid in qualifying. So I'm sure he'll be disappointed with that, but it will give him a bit of a different choice in strategy. I expect most of the guys outside the top 10 are probably up for the medium tyre to start. Medium hard's normally the strategy you go for on the dry at Japan, but you never know. A couple of guys might go for the soft medium as an alternative, especially if we see any safety cars. And we had 3 in the tier 1 race earlier, plus 1 virtual safety car as well, so you never know what's going to happen at Japan.
Yes, indeed. But I think it's going to be an exciting race nonetheless. Yeah,
we always see some good battles here at Japan, especially drivers going side by side through the first couple of corners. Doesn't often end well, but yeah, we always see some good passing at the end of the main straight after 130R. Okay, just wait for the drivers to finalise their pit strategy, get their fuel levels sorted, and we'll have a look and see what tyres everyone's selected. I can see a few mediums at the back already. Just waiting for Keeper, who I hope he's not having more connection issues this time around. So here we go. So start their formation lap. Let's have a look. So top 10 all of the softs. Everyone outside the top 10 on the mediums except for Saxa and Keeper. So that is interesting, but not surprising that pretty much everyone's gone medium.
Yeah. Well, is it though? I think soft hard's the best strategy. I don't know, medium, unless they're planning to do medium hard or banking on a safety car.
Medium hard's normally what the game recommends is the strategy. Obviously, it depends on the driver and how kind they are to their tyres. If they can make the softs last pretty well, then yeah, soft hard work. But as I've lost game sound by the looks of it. No, we're good. As Keeper has left the session, so hopefully we'll get that internet issue sorted. Yeah, there's not that many tracks in F1 2020 that are... there we go, it's got the insights now, soft hard, pitting on lap 9, and then we've got the 2 stops off soft hard as the alternative, so yeah, it's a bit interesting that we're going the mediums now that you think about it, because most tracks are either soft hard or soft medium in F1 2020. Don't really have a lot where you have to do 2 stops, which is a bit of a shame. Doesn't mix the strategy up particularly much.
Yeah.
Hero coming around 130R now, so the field's a fair bit more bunched up than it was in Tier 1.
You can say that again.
Basically had 2 separate formation laps during that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was happening halfway through it, but... Skins!
Got a bit of contact with someone.
Oh, at least he got around most of the lap this time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just by himself, so that's a...
Might have just touched the wall, or maybe hit a lag car or something that wasn't on anyone else's screen, but...
Well, his temperature shouldn't be too affected.
This Keeper has rejoined, so he should make the start of the race. Final cars to form up. So we get the lights now for the Japanese Grand Prix Tier 2 Season 6. Drive-through penalties, Wombies jump the start. And yeah, the Red Bull has kept it flat in between everyone. Everyone else gets a pretty decent start. The Renault's gone backwards though. Skins lost a few positions there. A little bit further back. Got 3 wide. We've got a Williams on the grass. And Alfa Romeo of Mickey was up on the grass and he's gone around. Wombi's gone around. Oh, he lost it completely on the inside curb there. And I think there's a few cars in front of him got damage from that. So he's not only has he jumped the start, but he's caused a bit of an incident. The rest of the cars come through. Ooh, we've got a Ferrari battling a bit further back. We've got Conrad got past by Mika and the Haas, who's already up to 17th place after starting dead last. Disqualified in the qualifying session.
Ooh, very clean start at the front, but
Lights psycho, yeah. They're all banging tyres.
Yeah, one of them ghosted. I'm not sure if one of them cannot see the other.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I don't think lights can see. I don't think lights can see Psycho. I think there's that old glitch that randomly comes up because he was just driving as if he wasn't there. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what.
You certainly hope that he just couldn't see him on the screen. As we've got Quantum Effect getting past the racing point into 130R. Alfa Romeo, the AlphaTauri of Dezelerae running a little bit wide to avoid contact. Oh, as the racing point has a big dive on Quantum Effect. Can't quite get the move done. As we complete our first lap. Japanese Grand Prix. A little bit further back. Mickey still holding on a little bit. Oh, actually I shouldn't have done that because it looks like Lights and Mr. Spicer are now battling into turn 1. They're side by side.
Psycho's just lost a handful of positions there. Being on the back foot.
Oh, the race point's gone around. Jacob Meister has spun. Oh no, Jacob is parked on the inside. Turn 4.
I think he's got away without damage.
Yeah, no wing damage, but he lost 3 on the curb. And unfortunately, he's fallen right back. I think he was quite last for a few guys. We had 3 cars at pit for wing damage. Yeah, very unfortunate for him again. Strong qualifying and still does it with a mistake. There's a safety car that helps him punch back up again. Quantum Effect trying to pass Lights now as on the run into Spoon. McLaren is so much quicker on those soft tyres than the AlphaTauri on the mediums.
Oh, Lights
oh,
drifting around Spoon.
He nearly lost it. Good save, but he's lost a ton of time and position.
His teammate Dezelerae.
Dezellerate's been let through. Oh, he's pushing him through 130R though. He's going to try and get past him. Oh, he does. They're side by side in turn 16. Oh, Marco's not going to be happy with this at all.
Well, you left the space. All the time you have to leave the space.
Drag racing down into turn 1. Just going to jump a little bit further up. His bait mate is having a good look at Wingman. Can't quite get it done.
Oh, they're still side by side. Finally, Lights gets on top of the situation.
It's hurt them a fair bit. They're almost outside of DRS range of Psycho. You don't want to be squabbling with your teammate too much. Lights runs very wide in the exit curve of the first Stegner, nearly loses the car again. Looks like he's pushing very hard to try and catch the guys in front. But he's dropped out of DRS range now. So far, so the top 5 position is still where they qualified. Mr. Spicer's up 2 positions, Quantum's up 2, Psycho's down 1, Lights up 2, Dezelerae up 2 as well. Mr. Spicer who's having a good look at Ali. It's 16, can't quite get it done. Sack's up 5 positions, Mickey's down 2, Nump's up 2, Cobat's up 3, Mika's up 5, Conrad's up 3, but Jacob Meister down 11, Wombi down 5, Keeper down 1, and Jay down 6.
Quantum Effect picking up the fastest lap so far, at 1:30.4.
Wingman closing in on the back of Batemate. Have dropped off from Hero already. He's got a 1.7 second gap. Might get it done in a moment. A little bit of train forming behind Decelerate now. P9. He's got back past his teammate. They're going to have to sort it out soon enough because they're dropping quite a way back to the soft runners.
And they're both on the same compound, so it's not even like they've got a split strategy. Lights had a very poor exit around Spoon, and this has put him under pressure from Saxon now. They're going to be side by side come 130R. Sax is on the outside. Lights lifts a little bit.
Yeah, tucks in. Smart move. Don't want to get caught on the inside. He's gone for a dive into 16 though. He's picked up a 3-second penalty for cutting the corner there.
He's also low on ERS, 10 to 12%.
Very optimistic move there. Nut gets past Mickey. Those soft tyres of his are starting to drop off a little bit. Yeah, it was a very ambitious move by Lights there. Just dropping back with Jacob. He's got past Mika. He's absolutely storming back through the field after his earlier spin. He's on the soft tyre though, so they are going to fade the Mikas. Hero still holds a comfortable 1.7 second lead from Batemate and Wingman. We've got this little battle pack behind Accelerate and P9. Train forming. Mickey's very close to the back of Nut. Those soft tyres should be still a bit quicker than the mediums, but can't get back past Nut after losing the position slightly earlier. That'll look inside of 130R. The side's better of it. Saxo right on the back of Decelerate as well. With the Ferrari. DRS, just a bit of overtake. Decelerate sticks to the racing line. The Ferrari thinks about going down the inside, but decides to back out.
Skins picking up a 3-second penalty in the S's, as he's not really able to hold on to the back of Wingman, and Ali is all over the gearbox of the Renault.
Ali is so close to the back of him now. Decelerate's also picked up a 3-second penalty. He seems like he's so much quicker than the Renault. Just on that little straight between the hairpin and Spoon, he's gained a couple of tenths. Oh, he has a little bit of a snap of oversteer mid-corner Spoon. He's lost all that time he just gained, and that's going to compromise him all the way down the straight into 130R. Oh, that's a shame. Gearing up for a good overtake. Just going to jump back with Saxo. He's making a move on Decelerate. A bit further back as well. Got Nut passing Lights. But Lights again diving into turn 16. He needs to be careful with that. And he's got a little bit of a touch from Mercedes. It's going to compromise Nuts exit. Mickey all over the back of him now again. And I think this time the Alfa Romeo is going to get through. I don't think Nut will be too happy with that one from Lights. He tries to go around the outside of the Alfa Romeo, but Nut, I don't think he's going to get it done. Rode very quickly trying to pass someone side by side through the S's. We've got Mika coming to the pits now. Yeah, getting their hard tyres by the looks of it. Hero, the lead's nearly out. Well, there you go. 2 seconds is the lead now from Batemate, who's now got out of DRS range from Wingman. Ali closing back in on Skins again. Has much better exit of Spoon. Closing on him this time around. No, right on the back of Mickey again. So close to the back of the Alfa Romeo. Can't quite get close enough. He's gaining on him. The gap's just 3.5 tenths now. Should have DRS now.
He's going to be close enough to have a look, but Combat getting in on the action.
Oh yes, the Renault's got a much better exit than the Mercedes, and he's going to have a look at the Alfa Romeo as well. Can't quite get far enough. Nut hanging around the outside of turn 1. Still in front. Holds position.
Great driving there from Nut to be able to hold on around the outside.
Absolutely, and well done for Combat as well. Gave him plenty of space. Didn't running out of road on the exit of 1 like we've seen some people do. Thanks for the follow, Standerpan Van Belgie.
Yeah, going side by side through turn 1, you really need to have confidence in the driver that you're going through there with, that they're going to leave the space.
That's right, because every time you have to leave other space.
Yeah.
Ali still tantalisingly close to the back of the Renault, but he just can't get a good enough run out of Spoon to get the move done into 16. So we've got a switcheroo between the Alpha Tauris just before 130R.
I'm just getting the feeling this is going to be a race-long battle between these two AlphaTauri.
Well, they're probably running the same setup as Skins is coming to the pits. Grabs some hard tyres. Jacob Meister also in the pits down at 15. As the Zellerate gets back in front of Lights in the DRS zone into turn 1.
And he used all of his ERS to do it.
Yeah. Probably going to hurt him a bit later on in this lap. He's not going to be able to defend from his teammate. A little further, Mickey still in front of Nut. He's still under a lot of pressure from the Renault of Combat, who's now just in front of his teammate for about 8 seconds. Right on the back of the Williams, Mr. Spicer now. He's had a very good run out of Spoon, but he's got hardly any ERS left. He's still got the overtake button on. Alongside, just before 130R, they do go side by side through 130R, and he gets the move done. He's got hardly any battery left. And he's going to have to run into the DRS zone. God, just 10%. Chucks the overtake on again. Goes immediately to the pit wall to cover the inside line. Does hold the position. Well done to him. As you see, a lot of the soft runners starting to come into the pits now. Batemate's the only one of the leaders who stayed out.
Decelerate forced wide there by Lights, but yeah, these guys are costing themselves way too much time. Teammates shouldn't really be fighting like this, unless it's the last couple of laps, in my opinion. So it's all about the team in the Constructors' Championship, as we all know.
Very, very true. That's Psycho making a move on Conrad there in the S section. The unconventional passing pace, but Psycho on those fresh hards. Able to get past Conrad on those slightly older mediums. A fair bit of train forming up front. Mickey and P6 still in front of Nut. He's got Combat right behind, and Hero now. And his fresh hard tyres just behind the Renault. Accelerator light still going at it. 1.5 tenths.
Still going. Hammer and tong at this little battle here.
Lights weaving a little bit on the run into 16. As you see, Mr. Spice coming into the pits, same as Mickey. Everyone getting rid of those soft tyres.
That's all the soft runners done and into the pits now. So let's look at this epic battle for the lead at the moment, shall we?
Yeah, the gap's extended out a little bit more now. Lights has pulled half a second clear of his teammate, but yeah, definitely they should be working together. Thank you so much for the follow, Aussie Bogan.
And both of them very low on ERS, under the 10% mark.
Meanwhile, Hero is struggling to get past the Renault with Combat Rat. He really needs to get clear of these guys. He's got most of the lead drivers coming out behind him. He's going on the inside of the Renault. Oh, they bang tyres a little bit. So on the run. Oh, they bang tyres again. The Renault nearly got forced onto the grass there as they came over the hill into Spoon. Hero getting past him without too much more drama. And he looks forward to Nut just a bit further down the road. Interestingly, Ali has opted to chuck on the medium tyres after that pit stop, so I'm sure if I might be going for a 2-stop, as we've got the Mercedes of Keeper, I believe, has spun around just under the bridge of the second Degna. He's lost a fair chunk of his left wing. It's going to need to be replaced. He hasn't picked. Yeah, we've also got a Renault of Skins, I believe, has had a little bit of an incident. A little bit of a spin at the final chicane. Just looking a bit further back as well. Psycho getting past Mr. Spicer at the same chicane. But yeah, Skins. Looks like he may have been turned around there. Thanks for the follow, EAS 410 and Crusade TK. Thank you very much, guys, for your support. Switching Heroes now pull up to the back of Nut already. And Blinky as well, thank you for the follow. Got yellow flag again, looks like it's Keeper in the final chicane. His tyres are going to be a little bit cooked and that lack of front wing's going to be hurting as well. Hero all over the back of the Mercedes gearbox. Into 130R, using his overtake. Mercedes positions himself in the middle of the track, squeezes him a little bit, and the Haas gives him a bump just to say, oi, I'm here, but Nut sticks his elbows out.
Around the outside.
Who is this in the Mercedes? We're sure Nut's the one driving that car. He's got the
what have you done with Nut?
Pointy elbows tonight. But yeah, great defensive driving from Nut. But I think he is going to get done this time. The DRS and the Haas. We'll run into turn 1.
Just trying around the outside again.
Oh, he's coming back at
very
him.
wide.
He's coming back at him, but I think he's going to get forced out, and he does. Wow, it's good from Nut. He's still got plenty of ERS as well, so yeah, he's doing a great job there. He does have Batemate as well, opted to go into the medium tyre from that pit stop, so interesting to see if those guys are able to get those to last the distance, or if they're planning to do a soft tyre change at the end, but yeah, it's an interesting one.
I mean, the soft medium is possible. It's just challenging. And again, we have another driver that's disconnected and gets disqualified.
That's weird. He's just stuck on the apex at turn 2.
But he's not even in the session.
No, he left the session when he came into the pits and he didn't retire or anything, so it didn't come back out on track dangerously. It's just the AI just parked it on the curb. That's a weird one. Very weird. Add that to the list of bugs to fix for 2021, Codemaster.
Yeah. Well, I think they just had a bunch of things fixed, so that's pretty standard with the old and in with the new bugs.
Watching Batemate now, closing in on the back of Nut. Let's see how wide he can make that Mercedes now. Oh, he makes it a lot easier. He ran very wide. Oh, he locks up. Forces the Williams. Oh, he bangs tyres as well. The second part of the chicane. I wonder if he's actually picked up DRS there, because I think the Williams is in front. As Lights picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And the Williams does have DRS. No, Ponton, he didn't retire. He just quit as he came into the pits. I was watching, and it was a disqualification from the AI, so that doesn't happen if you retire.
And Keeper has been having some connection issues, so we're not sure if he quit or if he just disconnected. Yeah. Bizarre.
Right, Hero's now caught up to the lead AlphaTauri. Just 3/10 behind Accelerate.
And this is allowing Batemate to close up.
Absolutely, it's just a second now, so Hero did have nearly 2-second lead when he came into the pits. And Batemate as well, being on the medium tyres, they are going to be quicker as Haas thinks about going into Spoon, but changes his mind at the last minute.
You might be better off just sitting tight and getting the DRS, but he's going for it. And that's Keeper's ghost car still driving around the track.
I've got a yellow flag, yeah, just before 130R, but there's no car on my screen, so I don't know if someone's decent. There is a Red Bull off at the top of the hill. That's Wombi, I think.
Yeah, my screen, I can see Keeper's car just trundling down the straight at 40k now.
Yeah, I don't know. Ponton's saying on Mika's screen it came up that he retired, but yeah, I think there's probably some desync going on. I have seen before the desynced AI will crash and then teleport back onto the track even after it said it's retired, so I think we've seen a classic Cody's bug play out at the moment.
Ali also setting the new fastest lap of the race.
And Jacob Meister, Lights behind him now, putting a fair bit of pressure on. It's been a pretty good comeback from Jacob to be in front of Lights now in P12. It's a fair recovery. Yeah, I'm interested to see what these medium runners do. If they're just going to chuck on a set of softs, or if they think they can go to the end. They're very ambitious to do that. So we're getting ghost yellow flags all over the track at the moment. Confusing. We've got Ali about to have a go at combat. Is he going to do it into Spoon? No. Just waits a little bit. Bit of a lock up on the front left there. Too far back now. Get done into 16. Be interesting if they added a DRS zone here, but I think might be a bit like when they tried to have a DRS zone at Silverstone at turn 1. Just a little bit too risky.
On the run down to 130R.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day when you could use DRS anywhere you liked in practice, the Red Bulls were going through 130R with DRS open. That's the kind of downforce they would generate. But, yeah, those days are well and truly gone now. And I think I remember a Caterham attempted it, and it looked dangerous in the Caterham, I will say, and I think that was what made them.
The Renault Skins has gone off the track.
Oh no!
Turn 4, turn 5. Can't see if he's got any damage. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, it was a little train that he was leading. I'm not sure if he got a tap or if he's just lost it on his own, but yeah, unfortunately he's down to 14th now. Thank you very much for the follow, Gamer Edward31. But yeah, I do remember they put, it was 2017, I think they had a DRS zone at Silverstone on the pit straight, and that was very short-lived. I think Giovinazzi or Ericsson, yeah, had the DRS wide open at turn 1 and just lost the rear and straight off into the wall. Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, well, the Red Bulls were doing it every lap, and so he tried it and it didn't work out so good.
So we've got Ali. is Nuts coming into the pits, so is Combat, so the medium runners are starting to pit.
10 laps, so they should be able to go onto the softs from here. And on go the softs.
Thank you very much for the follow. I'm not even going to try and pronounce how your name is spelled. Skins picks up another penalty, so we should see Decelerate come into the pits in the next lap or two. And then that should be pretty much everyone. We've got Nut and Combat coming onto the soft tyre, so going medium soft. So maybe those medium runners who came in a couple of laps ago are going to the end on those mediums.
You would think so.
Just wonder if
yeah.
they're going to last.
I mean, they will be able to because they can get 16 laps out of them. So they should be okay. But whether that's the fastest option, time will tell.
Absolutely, as Ali's about to pass the sister team car run by Decelerate. Small 130R. He's got the inside and gets done pretty comfortably.
But Nut and Combat really need to get moving if they're going to make these soft tyres work.
Decelerate does indeed pit. Saxa all over the back of Lights. It looks like Lights has just got no pace on that hard tyre. He's been on it for a couple of laps now. Saxa storming behind him.
Decelerate's gone for the soft as well.
Oh, Lights dangerously moves across to cover the inside line. Saxa has to move to the racing line to avoid him. He gets the move done.
Decelerate, split Nut and Combat.
There's just a couple of tenths separates the AlphaTauri and the Renault.
There's a Renault behind each AlphaTauri at the moment.
Both within DRS range.
And both on the same tyre compound as each other.
Light's starting to come back at Saxa a little bit. Skin's very close to the back of the AlphaTauri now, though. I think we may actually have a look at him. 130R. Zali sets the fastest lap of the race with 130.2, but we expect that to get beaten by one of the soft runners. At the moment, Skin's not quite close enough to Lights to get it done. Oh, he's pushing him through the second part of the chicane, though. To get out of the throttle low, so it's going to hurt him a little bit on the straight. As usual, it's very limited amount of ERS as Nuts since the fastest lap of the race. Skin's just not able to get past the AlphaTauri because he ran out of ERS on the straight. As good as Williams has gone off the track at the top of the hill. I think that's Batemate. And now he's under a lot of pressure from Wingman as well. So the yellow flag come up at the top of the hill.
See, these two little battles are conjoining in the midfield from Saxa pretty much all the way down to Combat.
Yeah, Light's just 2 tenths behind the Ferrari now. Just waiting for him to make a mistake.
Skins.
Another one.
Yeah, that's really going to hurt any chance of points now.
Lights is just using all of his overtake. I mean, can't really do that. You have to save it. Oh, he goes for a massive dive into turn 16. The Ferrari turns in. Contact, and he gets forced out wide. Now the Renault's going to have a look. Try and get him in the final
Renault
corner.
lost the right end plate. Renault's got front wing damage
Yeah, he
from
lost
that.
the front right. Looks like as he tried to go past the AlphaTauri, just had another bit of contact. Renault, very defensive. What is with these camera angles? Codemasters, please. And now it's a four-way battle. Renault going very slow up the hill because of that wing damage. It's going to cause a bit of a concertina. Oh, he's going to try and have a go. It's on the hill. He gets squeezed out there. I don't think you're going to get too much respect from Skins. If you it looks like a nut. Nut's gone into the wall.
He's kept on track.
He's kept his wing as well, so he's okay. Yeah, I'll just finish that thought up. I think he ghosted briefly, but yeah, I don't think Skins is going to be leaving a lot of room for lights. Oh, as he tries to dive into the hairpin. Yeah, if you're going to dive bomb people and run them out of road and cause wing damage, they're not going to let you go through very easily.
Meanwhile, Sax is there just looking at his mirror like, leave me alone.
He's almost out of DRS range, almost out of DRS range, so this is exactly what he's going to want.
Squabbling amongst yourselves.
Here goes lights again. Now Skins does have a bit of damage. Oh, look, he's trying to pass him around the outside, but he's not even passed. This is very dangerous driving from lights, and he's going to make a big lunge into turn 16 again. Skins squeezes him out. I think his lack of downforce is going to hurt him a little bit here. He does have DRS still off Saxa, so he's going to be a drag race into turn 1. He's got the outside though, so he's going to get forced out, I would expect. He's still hanging around the outside. A little bit of contact. And Renault's still in front. And they're definitely out of DRS range now as Combat gets past Accelerator further back in the field.
6 laps remaining.
So wide at the top of the hill, and that lack of downforce is going to be compromising his exit as well. Getting out of the throttle to avoid running wide. Light's having to check up a little bit in the second Degner. Goes to the inside. Oh, he's got contact and he's gone rounds. He went onto the grass and he's now in the gravel.
And no wing damage.
That must be on the same patch as iRacing.
Getting past Skins, and Skins letting his teammate through as well. Oh, Reece joins just in front of Nut. Very sketchy there.
And Combat's gone round. Oh, both Renaults are off at the same corner. They both went off at the same corner.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, so it looked like Combat had just lit up the rears on the exit of Spoon and went to the inside. And Combat with his and Skins with his front wing damage has just understeered off the track on the other side. So we had both Renaults. It was like choreography. It was actually quite beautiful.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm sure.
Skins compromised everything to let Combat through without holding him up, and it all just backfired.
I'm sure Cyril's pulling his hair out at the moment. We've got Williams is off. Mr. Spicer has gone round. So he's gone round at turn 5.
Cyril will be looking at his honey badger tattoo and thinking,
he's gone round again. He's gone round again. His rears are lit up, and there's the Alpha Omega. It's passed okay.
That's a very bad position.
I was on board then, and I saw the colour just go straight through the car.
Yeah,
thankfully, he ghosted. Oh, man.
Oof.
All right, jumping back up. Further up.
But yeah, Mr. Spice has definitely put some heat into those tyres. Hence why he just lost it straight away.
Yeah, of course, Cyril the Pole out of a job this year. Not team principal for Renault anymore. Ted Kravitz joking on the notebook the other night that did it to get away from Daniel Ricciardo and the bet that he lost last season.
Well, he hasn't got the tattoo.
He hasn't got the tattoo yet. Danny Ricks picked the art that it's going to be. That's all we've heard so far. So,
yeah, well, you know, maybe Renault gave him the flick for like, well, you're going to make a bet and not honour it.
Well, we've got a battle again between Skins and Lights. They're drag racing down the pit straight again. I don't think they're going to be too happy with each other after the contact they had at the hairpin. And the contact that they had at turn 16 a lap before. But I think Skins with his wing damage just doesn't have the pace to catch back up to Lights now.
I've just noticed something on Combat's telemetry. His accelerator is sticking on 1.5 to 2 bars.
Oh, it's fine
now
on
it's off.
mine. Unless it's, it may be sticking
Did I finally
sometimes.
say
It might not be consistently sticking, but oh yeah, it's doing it for me now. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You need to get those potentiometers cleaned. It's probably running Logitechs. That happens before myself.
Yeah, I think any Logitech owner will have experienced that issue.
For me, it was on the brake pedal, so when I'd be on the straight, I'd open DRS and it just immediately closed again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the follow, Misty Hee.
What a name.
I know, absolutely.
So not really that much happening out front. Hero's kind of had this under control.
Nuts just made a move on Mickey for P9, going into turn 1. Great drive from him so far.
Yeah, especially after his little off.
And he's only a 2.5 behind Saxer as well, so he may still gain another position before the end of the race.
Yeah. But yeah, the top 9 all kind of,
I think Jacobs had a great recovery. He had that big spin on the first or second lap to be back up in P7. That's a great drive from him.
And he dropped all the way back to almost last.
Yeah, he did. We've got a Haas around. Mika's gone
Oh,
round.
that's Mika.
Yeah, he's got wing damage on the front right end plate as well. He lost it on the exit of the second Degner. We saw that in the preamble. You saw that in the preamble. Simdogger did it last season, so he's very lucky not to have retired there, but he has dropped all the way down to 14th, so not much of a chance of getting any points, unfortunately. I'll jump back up a little bit high. Combat Rat now closing in on the back of the Zellerate. Great exit out of Spoon. Got a good run. Not a lot of ERS, but should be enough of a run. See, he's doing the right thing here. He's actually turned off the ERS after that initial little burst. You don't want to be holding it on for the entire straight because it's just going to waste all your energy. You just need a little bit to pick that speed up. Moves up to P11, so he's just 4 tenths away from a points finish.
Dezelerate having a look at Combat. I don't think he's going to be close enough. No. So hard to get a move done in a DRS train.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless you're in the front, it's very difficult to do. And even then, you're then the lead of the train. And if you don't have the pace to get away from it, you're just going to be vulnerable. Next lap around. Like Nut at the moment, he hasn't pulled away from Mickey. Still just a couple of tenths in front.
Yeah, I think his softs are going off, to be honest, because I think Saxa is actually pulling away at the moment.
Yeah, it was only about 2 seconds before. It's now blown out to 3.
Lap 25 of 27. About to start lap 26.
It's been a pretty quiet race, as you say, up the front. Hero been in control pretty much the whole race. He's got a 3-second lead over Ali, who also has a 3-second lead over Batemate. Skins picks up another penalty.
Another one.
Way back in
He's going past the slapper. Yeah.
Further up. Oh, Mickey runs to the back of the Mercedes, and now he's vulnerable to combat. So it looked like he tried to switch back on Nut, but Nut positioned his car perfectly in the middle of the road. And Mickey, a little bit of contact, no wing damage, but now he's being passed by Combat Rat into turn 1. Combat gets done comfortably. Accelerate right on the back of Mickey as well. Those mediums look like they're starting to go off now as well.
Not using its experience to great effect there.
Meanwhile, Mr. Spice has just got past King J for P14. King J has been on those hard tyres for 22 laps. Great effort by him, but obviously showing rage. Mr. Spicer very briefly had the fastest lap, but you're right. Skims has gone for the fastest lap as well. Managed to pick it up.
Nah, and Combat It's had a decent exit. He's right over on the gearbox of Nut at the moment. Oh,
So
that's not good.
Lights has lost his
That's
entire
not good.
front wing.
Oh, I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't.
All right. Well, I'm going to save that replay because that was weird. But there's definitely some desync going on there. They were inside each other's car to a degree.
Oh, and Psycho failed to use the required tyre compounds.
Oh, what? No.
He started on... What tyre did he start on? Can you check Race Director what tyre he was on? Because I'm positive he started on the mediums. There was only 2 cars outside the top 10. That's not possible. He definitely didn't start on the hard tyre.
Is the hard tyre mandatory?
I don't think so, because we've got a number of drivers who've done soft mediums and they're fine. It said that he didn't use the required compounds.
He went from soft to hard.
That's bizarre, unless you have to use the medium, but I thought that Hero went soft to hard at the start.
Quantum Effect went soft to hard. Skins and Miko gone hard to soft.
That's rough. We might have to look at that after the race. His Renault's gone round. Combat's gone round. Oh, no. And,
Light's speeding in the pit lane.
Combat's tyres are absolutely cooked now. Oh, such a shame. And congratulations to Hero for winning that race. Ali second. 4.7 seconds was the gap in the end. Batemate third, 2.2 seconds behind, so I think Ali's made a little mistake there. Wingman came across fourth with 4.1 seconds behind. Quantum Effect fifth, so great result for McLaren getting fourth and fifth. Jacob Meister sixth after that, although we may be looking at Psycho's finishing position at the end. Saxa there coming across the line in P7. Nuts. P8, but he does have penalties, so Mickey will jump up to 8th. Decelerate comes across in 10th. Combat Rat, unfortunately, too far back. He's not going to gain any time there. That comes across the line. P11, Mr. Splasser, P12. Skins, P13. A disappointing day for Renault. King J, looks like he's spun coming into the pits. Mika in P15.
Gets fast flat.
And Conrad coming across in 16th as well. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. Had a bit of desync and guys disconnecting. Sax the driver of the day. Well done to him. And yeah, I think Psycho's disqualification is questionable, so I'm sure that'll be looked at after the race. Congratulations to Hero for winning. Yeah, the Red Bull of Ali coming home in second. And Batemate, I believe, rounds out the podium in third. Alrighty, so we got Wingman in P4, Quantum 5th, Jacob 6th after that spin at the start, Saxa, Mickey, Nut, Decelerate rounds out the top 10, Combat, Mr. Spicer, King J, Skins, Mika, Conrad, Lights, and Wombi. Last about finishes, and then Keeper and Psycho rounding out the grid. Yeah, that was a weird one. That was a very weird one. Not sure if the lobby was bugged a bit, but definitely seemed like... actually, yeah, we'll have a quick look now. Race director for Psycho, just for the viewers. He started on the softs. He ran them until lap 10, and then ran the hards to the end. And the incidents here, let's bring them up. He failed to use required tyre compounds is the incident that he was disqualified for. Which is weird because you can see here that Hero also did the softs till lap 10 and then the hards to the end. So very weird bug there. Thank you for the follow, David Snake 13. Appreciate it. But yeah, that was unfortunate that that bug has ended Psycho's race prematurely, but I'm sure that'll all get sorted out by the stewards afterwards.
Yeah.
So, where are we next week? Well, next week being the Easter long weekends, we're not going to be racing in Tier 1 or Tier 2. However, we will be having the State of Origin special. So it will be 4 races of 25% distance. And the drivers who are available will be participating for their states that they live in or were born in. And they'll be racing with special multiplayer liveries that show their state colours. So please tune in for that at 7 p.m. next Sunday night. So we'll have some more details up in the Discord tomorrow for them all. We do return for Tier 1 and Tier 2 in, where are we? In 2 weeks' time, we will be at Singapore. So it'll be the first raid after Daylight Savings ends. For those of you who don't observe Daylight Savings, will be an hour later than normal.
I believe so.
Yes, so the clocks go back for us. So it'll be an hour later for everyone who doesn't have Daylight Savings. But we will remind everyone of that next week at the Easter weekend, which will also be early. So, yeah. That's it. So, I think, what else have we got? For Friday Series bands. I'm not sure if you guys will be doing that next week because it will be Good Friday.
Yeah, we'll kind of judge it by numbers, but the next track is going to be Belgium. So, Spa will be interesting. But yeah, we'll see how we go. But that's definitely an exciting series going on at the moment.
Absolutely. So yeah, tune in for that one if it does run, but we'll keep you posted if it is not. Yes, that's been everything from us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Bandcamp for joining me for the Tier 2 commentary. Thank you to Jacob Meister for joining me in Tier 1 as well. I've been Gus Rawls. Thank you so much for your company, and we'll see you all next time.
See you later.